back into one baseball game ever. A big hit on the ball game, 3-run home run by Bucky Dent to put the Yankees ahead 3-2, a lead that they held with Guidry and Gossage. My guest tonight is Bucky Dent, and we'll be back in just 1 minute.
A message to businessmen from the Red Baron.
I'm a businessman myself, so on my airline, Lufthansa, I try to give the kind of service I like to get when I travel. Good schedules, delicious continental food, and all the little extras that can make a flight a pleasure. Like my special quiet section in case you need to work on the plane. Of course, you don't always want to work, so you'll find some wonderful distractions, like my course in conversational German and my fitness in the chair program. Up one, down two, stretch. I know you say in your country never mix business with pleasure, but that's just what I try to do on my airline. And so far, I haven't gotten any complaints.
Fly with the Baron. He understands the businessman.
Bucky Dent, the 7th inning yesterday, an inning you'll never forget, I guess, as long as you live or as long as you play baseball.
That's right. You know, it's like a dream. You know, you dream of, as a kid, you know, you stand around a batting cage and you hit balls and you say, you know, it's 2 outs in the 9th of a big game, you know, and you hit one out and you just dream of that. And yesterday I was just hoping that I could get a good pitch to hit because I was having trouble seeing the ball in Fenway Park in the daytime, and he got a ball in on me, and I never did see it go in the net.
Bucky, so you didn't know when you hit the ball whether it was going to go out or not?
No, I didn't. I never did see it hit the wall. I never did see it hit the net because when I hit it, I knew I hit it good enough that it might reach the wall. And when I rounded first base, I saw the umpire signal was a home run, and that's when I really got happy.
Just what feeling did you have when you saw that sign from the umpire?
Well, it was a feeling, you know, as a kid growing up, you know, I've heard tapes of Bobby Thompson type of a home run, you know, when he did it in 1951, and it was kind of ironically because that's the year I was born in, and that kind of struck my mind when I touched second base and it was going around the bases.
And I guess the rest of the game was just almost a dream sort of in the back of your mind.
That's right. It was more or less, you know, we struggled all year, and to come right down with power against power, you know, the Red Sox and the Yankees, it's a classic.
Well, Bucky, I don't know what I said on the air when you hit the home run. When the ball left, I had a feeling it was going to be off the wall if it wasn't in the screen, and I didn't watch you. I didn't see whether you were running hard or what. I just watched the ball go in, and then I yelled. I don't know. It's just one of those big emotional things. What about that ball game as a whole, Bucky? Your home run, in my book, won the ball game. It put the Yankees ahead. Reggie's home run was the deciding run in the game. But just as a whole, how do you feel now that the game is over with? You're set for Kansas City. Any emotions left? How do you get up for this game tonight?
Well, I think yesterday was, you know, the biggest ball game that we've played all year, and surely one of the biggest ones a lot of these guys have played in their career. But this is where we've you know, set our goals to be in the playoffs, and right now we just got to go out and we got to play good baseball against this club here in Kansas City because they can run on you, they can steal bases, and they're very aggressive, and we're going to have to play heads-up baseball.
My guest on the Yankee pregame show is Yankee shortstop Bucky Dent. We'll be back in just 1 minute.
Hey, Yankee fans. The men at the men's store at Abraham and Strauss have a handsome offer for you from Royal Copenhagen. If you're a man, or if you know a man who likes to get around in style, you'll love the Royal Copenhagen Traveler. A deluxe club bag, elegantly designed in royal blue nylon, with a convenient shoulder strap and a handy outside pocket. It's just the thing to take with you for those after-work workouts or for those quick weekend getaways. And at the men's store at Abraham and Strauss, you'll find it already packed with a 2-ounce bottle of classic Royal Copenhagen cologne, plus a 2-ounce bottle of refreshing Royal Copenhagen aftershave. It makes a great gift item. And the Royal Copenhagen Traveler is a marvelous buy, only $12.50 with any $7 purchase from the distinguished collection of fine grooming products by Royal Copenhagen, the aristocratic fragrance for men. So travel in style with the Royal Copenhagen Traveler. It's available right now at the men's store at Abraham and Strauss.
Bucky Bucky Dent, this year, at times, in a situation like yesterday's, you've been pinch hit for. Sometimes I know you've accepted it. Sometimes I'm sure that you haven't. But was that thought in your mind at all yesterday? A little personal satisfaction, retribution to an extent?
Yes, it was. You know, I felt when I fouled a pitch off my ankle, and even when I was standing in the on-deck circle and they pinched it for Brian, you know, I said to myself, you know, here's a situation where, you know, I'm sure that Bob Lemon would probably like to pinch hit for me, but he's run out of players, and it was a situation where I thought, you know, here's a chance for me to help my ball club out because, you know, I haven't driven in many runs in the last month, and here's a chance for me just to turn things around, and it was a big thrill for me because I think it gave Bob Lemon a little more confidence in me, and I'm sure it gave a little, you know, our players a little bit more confidence.
That's got to be a big thing too, because we're one short yesterday. We are virtually a player short for this series with Willie Randolph, who has played second base all year, out of action.
That's right. You know, it's tough because I'm sure the manager would like to make moves in situations like that to bring in a left-handed hitter to face a right-hander. And in big ball games, you know, right now I think that it's a situation that you know, our ball club is in trouble because Bob is not going to be able to make the moves probably that he wants to make.
My guest on the Yankee pregame show, Bucky Dent, a final thought in just 1 minute.
You've heard about group health insurance plans that cover doctor and hospital costs after you get sick. Now Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Greater New York offers a group plan that's even better. It's called a community health plan, and it's better because it also pays for preventive medicine, those doctor visits and periodic checkups that can help you and your family stay well. But that's just the beginning. Under the community health plan, you'll be able to get quick medical attention any hour of the day or night if an emergency arises. You'll also get to choose your own doctor from teams of specialists associated with 2 of the metropolitan area's leading hospitals. But maybe best of all, the community health plan takes care of all your health care needs at one convenient location near your home. Ask your employer if you're eligible to sign up for the community health plan offered by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Greater New York. Or to get more information, write to Wins Radio, 90 Park Avenue, New York 10016. That's Community Health Plan, Wins Radio, 90 Park Avenue, New York 10016.
Bucky Dent, going back to the 7th inning yesterday, you fouled the ball off your ankle, and we didn't know for a while whether you're going to have to leave the ball game or not because that had been a problem earlier this year. But then something happened. I don't know how many people noticed. There was an exchange of bats. When you came back up to bat again after the foul ball, you had a different bat.
That's right. In batting practice, we were standing around the cage, and Mickey was swinging a bat of Roy White's, which is a Mac 44. That's the numbers on it. And it's a little bit lighter than my bat, and it's basically the same model. And I asked Mickey if I could use it during the ball game, and he said yes, but he thought that one was cracked. Well, when he put it in the bat rack, I didn't know which one was which because there were so many in there. And when I went up to the plate, when I fouled the ball off, Mickey had told the bat boy to take the other bat up and give it to me and tell me that the bat that I was using was cracked. And that's what happened. When I fouled the ball off, the bat boy came up to me and said, here, use this bat, that one's cracked, and that's when I switched.
Progression of events, Bucky. If there had been another infielder available, you might not have come to bat. If you hadn't fouled the ball off your foot, you might have been using the cracked bat and not got the home run.
That's right, and I thank God for that.
Something that was meant to be, certainly. How about tonight? Are you going to use that same bat tonight?
I told Mickey that there were some bats in there tonight. I said, but I'm going to use the same one I used last night.
Bucky Dent, we could go on and on, but hey, congratulations to you on really the greatest hit of the year and perhaps the greatest hit of your career. And let's go out there and do it again tonight.
Thank you very much, Frank.
My guest has been Bucky Dent. The pregame show is sponsored by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Greater New York, Abraham and Strauss, and Lufthansa Airlines. I'm Frank Musser, and now stay tuned for New York Yankee baseball.
We're here today at Z-Bot, seeking person-to-person interviews for our continuing documentary series, You Are Here. Sir, you are here.
I know.
Your name, please?
Vladimir Shutsky. I travel from Moscow.
Well, shoot, Shutsky. Just kidding.
You make another joke, I break arm.
Tell me, Vladimir, what brings you all this way to Z-Bot?
Positive protection. I know when I come to Z-Bot, they make sure job is done right. No shortcuts, no fancy promises. I get positive protection.
And
I like American cheeseburger.
No, for rust protection, Vladimir.
Some men walk mile for camel. I cross ocean for Zebart.
Isn't that rather inconvenient?
Not important. I want the best. You Americans no dummies. I know who you trust, who you depend on. Zebart.
Well, there you have it. Vladimir Shutsky said...
Whether it's across town or just around the corner, Z-Bart is worth the trip. Our name is your assurance of positive protection. Z-Bart. It's us or rust.
Here come the Yankees. Let's get behind and cheer them. Yankees. They're gonna learn to feel them. Yankees. Everyone knows they play to win. 'Cause they're the New York Yankees.
New York Yankee baseball is sponsored by Budweiser Beer, Champion Spark Plugs, Yoo-Hoo Beverages, HFC, and by Rickle Home Improvement Centers, Getty Oil, Colonial Provisions, makers of Yankee Franks, and the New York Yankees. That was the finish of the national anthem. Right now, from 1964 to 1976, this year's Eastern Division winners of the American League wallowed in the depths of mediocrity. Then in 1976, the New York Yankees won their first pennant in 12 years. Again in 1977, they won the American League pennant and then the World Championship. Yesterday, with a dramatic win in Boston, the New York Yankees hurdled the first obstacle in their quest of a second World Championship in 2 years. Hello again, everybody. I'm Fran Healy along with Phil Rizzuto, Frank Messer, and Bill White, and we will bring you the play-by-play as the New York Yankees attempt to capture their third American League pennant in 3 years. Their opponent, the very tough Kansas City Royals. The Royals are almost the same team who made it so rough on the Yankees the past 2 years in the American League playoffs. In this 3 out of 5 game series, the Yankees want to repeat their victorious ways, and the Royals want revenge. If the clubhouse atmosphere is any indication, both the Kansas City Royals and the New York Yankees are sky high. As they start the first of the American League playoffs here tonight, the Yankees will send the big guy. He's 6'6", he's 210 pounds, a graduate of Dartmouth College, Jim Beattie, to the mound, and he'll be opposed by 6'1", 190-pounder Dennis Leonard. And I'll be back with the starting lineups for tonight's ball game right after this.
Greenwich Village, with its windy little streets and coffee houses and jazz. It has a chemistry all its own.
It's definitely not the Upper East Side with its high-rise houses and high-rise prices. It, too, has a chemistry all its own.
Not at all like the chemistry in Harlem with the soul music and soul food and just plain soul.
Or like the chemistry of Wall Street, where you can't find a soul after 7 p.m.
The fact is that in New York, whether it's the Village, the East Side, West Side, Uptown, or Down, every community has a rhythm all its own, a special beat, a chemistry. And Chemical Bank is part of that chemistry. That's why many chemical branches reflect the hours of the neighborhood they're in, and why every chemical branch manager makes it his business to find out what makes the people tick, so his branch can truly reflect that chemistry. Because every place in New York has a chemistry all its own.
Like Little Italy.
East Side, West Side, all around the town, the chemistry's just right at Chemical. Member FDIC.
Let us direct your attention behind the...
This program is authorized by the New York Yankees solely for the entertainment of our audience, and any publication, reproduction, or other use of the descriptions and or accounts of this game without the express consent of the New York Yankees is prohibited. Now let's pause 5 seconds for station identification on the New York Yankee Radio Network.
57 degrees and cloudy at 8:30 WINS 1010 New York.
Okay, New York Yankee lineup. Batting first, leading off for the New York Yankees, Mickey Rivers. Rivers will be in center field. Thurman Munson will bat second and do the catching. Lou Piniella will bat third. He'll be in right field. In the cleanup slot will be Reggie Jackson. He'll be the designated hitter. At third base will be Greg Nettles. Nettles will be in the 5th slot. In the 6th slot will be Chris Chambliss. Chambliss will play first base. Roy White will be in left field and bat 7th. Brian Doyle will play second base and bat 8th. And Bucky Dent will be the shortstop, bat ninth. Once again, the pitcher, Jim Beattie. Okay, for the Kansas City Royals, leading off in left field, Steve Braun. Batting second at third base will be George Brett. In the third slot, Amos Otis. He'll play center field. In the cleanup slot, Darrell Porter. Porter will do the catching. Pete Lecoq will play first base and bat fifth. Hal McRae will be the designated hitter and bat sixth. Al Cowens will bat seventh and play right field. Playing shortstop and batting eighth will be Freddie Patek. And batting ninth at second base will be Frank White. On the mound, once again, native New Yorker Dennis Leonard. Okay, the umpires around home plate right now. Behind the plate will be Lou DeMuro. At first base, Rich Garcia. At second base, Ron Luciano. At third base will be Bill Kunkel. And the umpire down the left field line will be Davy Phillips. And down the right field line, Terry Cooney. Manager Bob Lemon of the New York Yankees and Whitey Herzog of the Kansas City Royals have exchanged lineups with the umpires, and they're now back in their respective dugouts. And we'll be right back after this message.
People use our money to get the most out of life.
100 years ago, a small company started lending money to consumers, and household finance was born. From the beginning, we've treated our customers with a concern for their needs and a belief that at HFC we really do help people get the most out of life. HFC, an equal opportunity lender.
Come on into HFC.
Do all of your home improvements better for less at our Rickle Home Center. Right now, at the Rickle Fall Super Sale, you'll save over $2 on a fine or coarse finished rotary stripper. Regularly $5.99, now just $3.88 at Rickle. This handy item will quickly spin clean, rust, paint, any coated surface. So stop into a Rickle Home Center near you, pick up your sales circular, and check out the values. Quality, value, and selection. Rickle has it all. Okay, right now we are waiting the start of the first of this 3 out of 5 game series, which will decide the champion of the American League, and they will go on to the World Series.
Actually, Fran, we're not waiting for that. We're waiting for ABC, who is doing this game, to give the okay that they're through with their commercials so we can start the game.
Well, I thought I was going to be a nice guy.
Don't be. It's not like you.
Okay. Well, that voice in the background was the Scooter, Phil Rizzuto, the dean of the baseball broadcasters.
Thank you, Fran. But you know something? I still really have to pinch myself to realize that we're here in Kansas City and in the playoffs. After we lost that game Sunday to Cleveland and had to go to Boston for that one game, even though Guidry was pitching, I had a sinking feeling. But now I do believe in miracles.
Well, I go along with the miracles. I also go along with the thought that going into Boston, the Yankees were able to pitch. Ron Guidry, a great move on the Yankees' part to adjust the rotation a week before to allow Guidry to pitch, even though it was with 3 days rest. They had a strong Rich Gossage. He came out of the bullpen, did a magnificent job. And, of course, the Red Sox played great baseball all year.
I tell you, neither team has anything to be ashamed of. And I think the Red Sox, unfortunately, have had this happen to them for so long. They have not won a World Series in 60 years. Now, that's a long time not to have won a World Series.
Oh, it really is unbelievable. And of course, Bob Stanley did a magnificent job, the right-hander out of the bullpen with the Red Sox. I'm sure they would have loved to have that Bill Campbell. Campbell hurt all season long with the bad elbow.
Yeah, that is true. The Yankees got a break there, but by the same token, the Royals get a tremendous break here. Everybody likes to win the first game of the World Series. I'm not saying that the Royals are going to win easily. Jim Beattie has looked exceptionally great in his last few starts, but the Yankees normally would start Guidry or Figueroa in the first game of the playoffs.
Yes, they were. Of course, Jim Beattie's a young pitcher, and most young pitchers takes a while to get their feet wet. I think he's going to be a real good pitcher. He had to control trouble early when he first came up, went back to Tacoma, worked in the no windup, came back to the Yankees, has had some success. The more success he has, the better he will be. And right now, the Kansas City Royals take the field. And Phil, I think the big thing in this series is the ability of the catcher to throw that ball 127 feet, 3 3/4 inches to second base, because the Royals can run. They will run on this turf. The Yankees can run, and they will run on this turf. Very important for the catcher to get the ball to second base, and of course, it's extremely important for the pitcher to hold that runner on first.
Well, that will, I think, be Beattie's toughest job in his first playoff game. If he cannot keep that leadoff man on off the base, they're going to run. They've got some speed throughout that lineup. Brett, Otis, McRae, Cowens, Patek, and White can all run, all capable of stealing a base, and they love to run. And as you said, on this artificial turf, for some reason, they seem to get to second quicker than they do on the dirt and the natural grass.
Well, this is true, and I played here 3 years, and you have that better traction on this artificial surface. And, of course, they play a very aggressive baseball. It all started with a manager named Jack McKeon, who managed here in Kansas City 1973, 74, and part of 75, and Whitey Herzog continued that policy. Most of the Kansas City Royals will run on their own. Whitey Herzog always felt that if you could get a jump, take advantage of it, steal the base. They will work in spring training on taking leads, getting to jump off second base and stealing the base. So it's going to be very important in this series.
You know, we have one happy note before the game even starts, Fran, the award to Goose Gossage as the Rolade Fireman of the Year.
And it's an award that all relief pitchers covet. They all would like to have that award. Last year in the American League, Sparky Lyle. National League, Raleigh Fingers. Gossage runner-up in the National League last year, and this year was able to capture the award. So a big evening for Rich Gossage. He was given the award before the ball game by Hoyt Wilhelm, who works with the New York Yankees in the farm system. Boy, he threw a pretty good knuckleball.
Oh, man. He's got to be one of the tops of all time. I don't think anybody will be able to pitch as many games as he pitched.
Right, of course, that knuckleball is just unbelievable. And speaking from experience, I never wanted to catch the ball.
No, that is true. That's a tough job. You know, we might as well speak about this youngster, New York-born Dennis Leonard.
Dennis Leonard. In fact, you know, I reflect back to when Dennis Leonard came into the major leagues with the Kansas City Royals, had some problems. Ended up in a bullpen for a while. And, of course, I think of Jim Beattie, who's starting tonight for the New York Yankees. Great stuff, just like Dennis Leonard. And Leonard was able to work himself out of the bullpen, and now he's a 20-game winner with the Kansas City Royals. Has an overpowering fastball and a good, quick-breaking curveball. Right now, Mickey Rivers will step in for the New York Yankees. He'll be followed by the catcher, Thurman Munson, and then Lou Piniella, who will be in right field tonight. Here with the play-by-play, a gentleman and a scholar, the scooter, Phil Rizzuto.
All right, Fran, Mickey Rivers up there batting .265. Brett in at third base. The first pitch of the playoffs is swung at and missed, strike one. This is the third straight year that the Yankees and the Royals are meeting in the playoffs. And as you know, the Yankees have been victorious the first two times. Leonard's next pitch is a curve just outside, 1-1. Kind of shallow in left field, Steve Braun playing him straight away. Amos Otis normally plays a very deep center field. Fastball is outside, 2 balls and a strike. Mickey Rivers started yesterday's ball game up in Boston walking on 4 straight pitches. Now Mick goes right down the end of the bat. And Leonard's pitch, fastball foul back and out of play, 2-2. Sellout crowd here at Royal Stadium, one of the most beautiful ballparks that I've had the pleasure to broadcast in, Fran.
Phil, this is a tough ballpark to hit the long ball, and of course they've designed their ball club around the ballpark. They get the spray hitters to hit the ball in the alleys, and they will go for that double and triple more so than the home run.
Yeah, that's the way to play it. The 2-2 pitch. Fly ball, left field. Steve Braun, who is left, he's there and makes the catch. One away. Mick just trying to punch that ball out that way. Ball carried a little too far.
Scooter, another thing to watch out for in this ballpark, when a ball is hit down the line, left field or right field, the ball will go down, and if it gets into that corner, it will hug the wall and go all the ways around. So what happens is the outfielder has to break back towards the bullpen and catch the ball as it hugs the wall.
Sort of like a hockey rink.
Right.
All right. We'll watch for that. Here's Thurman Munson. Thurman ended the season batting .297 and takes a strike on a good fastball from Dennis Leonard. Thurman finished with 27 doubles, a triple, 6 homers, and 71 runs batted in. Breaking pitch, he held up. It's low and outside. They asked the first base umpire. Rich Garcia said no, he did not swing. It's 1-1. Patek deep at short and shading Munson slightly over in the hole. White shading him slightly towards second. The fastball fouled back in the seats, out of play. A ball and 2 strikes.
In the past, Scooter, Thurman Munson has had a great deal of success hitting off of Dennis Leonard.
I'm sure he's got to go to right field quite often with him, unless he makes a mistake and hangs one inside. The 1-2 pitch, curve high, 2-2.
Phil, yesterday in Boston, Thurman looked like he was jumping out at the ball, and right here tonight, his first time up, he looks like he's jumping at the ball again. And of course, when you're jumping at the ball out over the plate, difficult to handle.
All right, the 2-2 delivery. Fastball, ground ball, just foul. Lecoq dove for it, couldn't quite get to it. Good effort by Pete Lecoq, the son of Peter Marshall on Hollywood Squares. But, you know, that's great. The kid's making it on his own, not taking the father's name and capitalizing on a big name.
Of course, it's tough to inherit the Hollywood Squares, I'm sure.
All right, a new ball thrown out to Dennis Leonard. We have 1 out here in the top of the first. No score in the ball game on a beautiful night here in mid-America, Kansas City, Missouri. Leonard winds. And the pitch is line, base hit, right field. And that's what we were talking about. And Fran was talking about. The ball was dropped by Collins, but Munson has to hold. Fran going with that pitch and a line single to right field. That'll bring up sweet Lou Piniella. And Lou finished with an outstanding year, hitting .314. Led the club in doubles with 34. He had 5 triples, 6 homers, and 69 runs batted in. He walked only 34 times, but he struck out only 35 times. Now the outfield deep and straight away on Piniella. Lou can find the alleys pretty well. Lecoq holding the bag against Munson. And the pitch to Piniella, low and outside, ball 1. Porter coming up ready to throw on each delivery. Dick Hauser coaching at third. Gene Michael at first for the Yankees. Sellout crowd in this beautiful ballpark. Leonard wheels, fires to first. Munson jumps back. On deck, Reggie Jackson. Leonard quickly throws to first. Munson back in time. Pretty good move by Dennis Leonard. Leonard comes down to the belt. Pitch to Piniella, foul back on the screen. Lou trying to go to right field, fouled it back, 1-1. Very quiet crowd here at Royal Stadium tonight. Time had been called as Munson came over to have a little chat with Gene Michael. Everybody wants to make sure they know all the signs. Told you so many times, every pitch and every play so important. The Yankees know they got to win at least 1 game here to go back to New York in good shape. Leonard ready for the 1-1 delivery, and a foul back out of play as again Piniella reached for a fastball away, try to punch it to right field. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And again, Dennis Leonard wants a new baseball. Leonard really ended up with an outstanding year. 121, lost 17. Munson leading off first. And the pitch to Piniella. Ground ball. Perfect double play ball. But White bobbles it. They get one. No chance for the double play. Oh, man, that was a tailor-made double play. A hard ground ball, but White bobbled it. It allowed Munson to slide in. Patek had a leap over him. No chance to get Piniella. A break for the Yankees, Fran.
Yes, it was, Phil. That ball right there, of course, Frank White playing a little bit more shallow than he usually does. On the turf, most of the infielders like to play way back to get the opportunity to handle the ball and get it over to first base because it travels rapidly. Right there, White was cheating on a double play. The ball was hit hard. Now, on the turf, the ball takes a funny spin. It's like a top, and it's difficult. You have to catch the ball in the glove and almost stop.
It's like overspin, right?
Right.
All right. But that gives the Yankees a big break. It allows Reggie Jackson to come up. And you can know what can happen with one swing of Reggie's bat.
Phil Jackson has 3 home runs off of Dennis Leonard this season.
All right. Reggie ended the year hitting .274. Had 27 homers and 97 runs batted in to lead the Yankees in that department. Pitch to Reggie. The curve in there. Strike one call. Porter really barrels out of there ready to fire with the left-hand batter up. He loses sight of that runner at first. Wants to make sure if he is going, he's ready to throw. Piniella at first base with 2 out. No score in the top of the first inning. Leonard sets. And the fastball swing and a miss. Ball was down out of the strike zone. 0-2. And Lou DeMuro, the plate umpire, dusting off home plate. Two quick strikes on Jackson. On deck, Greg Nettles. Leonard has the sign. Now the set. And the pitch line to center field coming on. Is going to drop for a base hit in front of Otis. Piniella goes to third, and Otis bobbles the ball to throw to second, and Jackson went in heads up base running by Piniella and Jackson. That ball took that high bounce off the AstroTurf. Otis bobbled the ball. Piniella was going to third anyway, but Reggie surprised Otis, Fran.
Yes, he did, Phil. Of course, that ball right there, Otis is charged with an error in that ball, and justifiably so. The ball should have been handled. Again, the spin on the ball, difficult ball to keep in the glove, but Otis should be used to playing that center field. And he told me before the ball game the reason he's had a good year is he had a challenge this year from Willie Wilson in spring training. They wanted to give Wilson the center field job.
All right, and Otis nonchalanted that one just a little bit too much, so the Yankees continuing to play heads-up ball on the single in the error. Jackson slid into second safely. Piniella went to third, and Lou rounded the bag. Had the throw been a little offline, he would have tried to score. And now Greg Nettles gets a turn. Nettles batted .276 on the year with 27 homers and 93 runs batted in. Leonard now will take the full windup. Jackson leads off second. Piniella off third. Pitch to Nettles, hit deep to center field. Otis going back on the warning track and makes the catch right at the base of the fence, the deepest part of the ballpark, 410 feet away. So the Yankees almost turned a break into 3 runs, but they come out of it with no runs, 2 hits, 1 Royal error, and 2 men left. And in the middle of the first inning, the Yankees nothing, and the Royals coming to bat.
Hey, how about a bacon that cooks up crisp and lean every time you put it in the skillet? Great bacon. Great special cut bacon by Colonial. Special cut from the best part of the bacon for leanness and great taste. That's how Colonial makes sure that every time you get special cut bacon, you'll be serving the kind of quality and hearty flavor families love bacon for. So Sunday morning or any morning, serve the bacon that's always great. Special cut bacon. Cut from where the bacon is best so it tastes best. Colonial makes it.
Here's the throw. Here's the play at the plate. Holy cow, I think he's going to make it.
Paradise by the Dashboard Light. Who'd ever thought that a singer named Meatloaf would make an ex-shortstop named Rizzuto a rock and roll star? Well, it came as no surprise to the listeners of WNEW-FM. Long before the rest of the world caught up with Meatloaf's act, he was being served up regularly at 102.7. Whether it's Meatloaf trying to score, Paul Simon singing about a pitcher dropping dead in a night game, or heaven forbid, Earth Opera singing that the Red Sox are winning, baseball and rock and roll have always gone on together on WNEW-FM. That's because rock music and baseball are both a vital part of the fabric of American life. And what the Yankees are to baseball, WNEW-FM is to rock and roll. The Sultan of Rock, the world champion of the airwaves. WNEW-FM, the big 102.7. Catch our number once, and you'll wind up a fan forever.
Bottom of the first inning, the Royals will send Steve Braun, George Brett, Amos Otis to the plate to face Jim Beattie. Phil?
All right, Fran. Steve Braun batted .251 on the year. 3 homers, 29 runs batted in. Left-hand batter. Nettles even with the bag at third. Yankee outfield playing him shallow in left and left center for Rivers. And the first pitch by Beattie inside, ball 1. Jim Beattie, 1-6, lost 9 on the year. And the young right-hander delivers a fastball high and outside, 2-0.
Phil, Steve Braun has a lifetime .283 average with 4 homers against the New York Yankees.
All right, solid ball player.
Good fastball hitter.
Beattie's 2-0 delivery right down the middle. Strike called, 2-1.
He's changed himself around quite a bit. He came over here, Charlie Lau has him flatten the bat out a little bit and try to hit the ball the other way.
All right, Beattie's 2-1 delivery high and outside, 3-1. Go to Rivers, shading Braun slightly in left center. White shallow in left. Vanilla fairly deep in right. The 3-1 pitch. Strike 2. Braun started to first base, has to turn around and come back. Full count on Steve Braun. He thought it was a little bit low. On deck, George Brett. The payoff pitch. Bouncing ball, and Chambliss can't get it up with it. Doyle throws to Beattie. They got him. Pretty play. Doyle bobbled the ball momentarily, got it before it hit the ground, and Chambliss went a little too far. And again, the inexperience of playing on this kind of turf, Fran, makes that happen.
Right, Phil. Of course, another thing that comes into play here is Chris Chambliss is not that familiar with Doyle. Does not really know Doyle's range, but Doyle seems to have very good range.
That he does, and the play goes 4-1. Doyle to Beattie covering as they just nip Braun at first base. Big play in the ball game. Keep those runners off. Here's George Brett. Batted .294 on the year. And takes a fastball, bounces off Munson's glove. Looks like Thurman thought he might have been crossed up there as Beattie comes in. Now, I'm sure Munson and Thurman just waved, says, go ahead back there. Don't let it happen again. Thurman really had a look.
Or else.
Yeah. Brett ended with 45 doubles, 8 triples, 9 homers, 62 runs batted in. A 1-0 pitch fouled back off the screen. Well, you mentioned, Fran, they hit a lot of doubles. He had 45. McRae had 39. Otis had 30. A lot of them in the 20s. And this ballpark tailor-made for doubles. Because if it's not right at the outfielder, it'll roll till it hits the wall. The 1-1 pitch. Curve. Oh, he had him fooled. That was down and in, and Brett way out in front and over it.
Scooter, Brett playing with a bad hand and also a bad right shoulder. He hurt the shoulder breaking up a double play. He hurt the hand swinging the bat.
Okay, it's 1 ball, 2 strikes on Brett. 1 out, nobody on. In the bottom of the first, no score. Jim Beattie winds. And low and all the way back to the screen, 2-2.
Phil, right there, those 2 pitches that Thurman had trouble with, if he was not crossed up, obviously Jim Beattie's fastball moving very well.
All right, Beattie's 2-2 delivery. Bouncing ball just fouled down the right field line. Chambliss playing deep at first, could not get to the ball, but it was wide of the bag, and now Brett is coming back. I don't know whether he split the bat. Sure hit the ball solid enough.
Phil, I mentioned that breaking up the double play, Brett hurt his shoulder. Last year, McRae was out for a couple of weeks breaking up the double play. I think breaking up the double play is very important, but you do not have to knock the second baseman and shortstop over the left field fence. And, of course,
yeah, I go along with that. That's it. Those huckleberries come in. They want to knock those poor little infielders way out to the outfield.
I wonder if they were a second baseman or a shortstop, if they would slide that hard.
You can break up a double plays in a lot of ways without really getting hurt. All right, we got a 2-2 count on Brett. And Beattie's pitch popped up. It might be playable. Munson coming back near the screen. Makes the catch. Nice play by Munson. Never gave up on it. He was just an inch away from the screen when he made that catch. So 2 good defensive plays by the Yankees here in the bottom of the first. And there are 2 men out. And that'll bring up Amos Otis. Otis just missed the magic mark at 300, finished at 298. 22 homers and 96 runs batted in. Team high in both divisions there. He actually led in batting average, home runs, and RBIs. So no score in the bottom of the first, 2 out and nobody on. On deck, Darrell Porter. Jim Beattie's pitch to Otis. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
Phil, this is Otis's best year since 1973 when he hit 300 with 26 home runs and 93 RBIs.
All right. You know, he's got a strange swing to have that much power. He lets go with the right hand.
Right. Plus, he has a sweep type of swing. He does not really, you know, pop the bat out to throw the bat at the ball. He starts his back. He has a long swing, and it's a sweep type swing, but a very unusual hitter. The year he hit 26 home runs, it was amazing. He hit 12 of those home runs off of straight changeups, and he hit 2, one off of Vida Blue's changeup and one off of Nolan Ryan's changeup.
The 1-strike pitch, swing and a miss, strike 2. Oh, Beattie blazing that fastball twice by Otis. Fran was saying he is not a wrist type hitter. Bat just goes in a big arc. And it seems like it'd be tough for him with that kind of a swing to hit the pitch inside. All right, let's see what Munson will think of to relay the sign. And Thurman now might have been telling Otis to get that back foot in the batter's box. I don't know.
Right. Otis notorious for just stepping on that back line. But if he has his foot on the back line, he is in the batter's box. Of course, what happens is they usually kick that back line so you cannot really identify it, and then they get out of the batter's box. If they hit a ball out of the batter's box, it's an illegally hit ball.
All right, the 2-strike pitch. High and tight, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Let's pause 5 seconds for station identification on the New York Yankee Radio Network.
57 degrees and cloudy at 8:57 WINS 1010 New York.
All right, Otis, very slow getting back in the batter's box. The 1-2 pitch. Ticked his bat, strike 3. So Jim Beattie with a strong bottom of the first inning, 3 up, 3 down. No score at the end of 1.
The day is done. It's time to let it go. It's the moment to unwind. So just say, bud. Hey, if you're doing what I'm doing right now, having a cold bud, then you really know what the fine art of relaxing is all about. Because when you say Budweiser, you said it all. Anheuser-Busch St. Louis.
Hello, Rusty Jones.
Hey, how are you?
Goodbye, Rusty Cars.
Hi, I'm Rusty Jones. What? Rusty Jones Rust Proof. You know, I can save your car from rust. You can? Sure, because I'm more than just rust proofing. I'm the one option you can buy for your car that actually appreciates in value. How's that? I'll stick with your new car, protecting it from rust for as long as you own it. And everybody knows a rust-free car is worth more trade-in time. You really stick with my car? Day and night, winter and summer. No vacation? Not even a coffee break. No gimmicks. Nope, I just want your car to stay rust-free, so you can say,
Hello, Rusty Jones. Goodbye, Rusty Cars. Hello, Rusty Jones. Goodbye, goodbye, Rusty Cars.
Look for car dealers that offer Rusty Jones rust proofing. It's a sure sign they care. Okay, Chris Chambers will step in for the New York Yankees. It's the top of the second inning. There's no score. The first game of the American League Championship Series, and a marvelous crowd on hand. Not an empty seat in the house, Scooter.
No way. Well, Fran Healy, you played here in Kansas City. I had 2 wonderful years here at Kansas City. That time a Yankee farm team, well, I'll tell you the years. No, I won't tell you the years. But anyway, I played 2 years there, and this is a great city. People are wonderful out here.
Well, it's a nice area, plus it's a good baseball town.
All right, 1 strike on Chambliss, who swings and misses a breaking pitch, strike 2. Chris finished the year at .274, 26 doubles, 3 triples, 12 homers, and 90 runs batted in. So Leonard with 2 quick strikes on Chambliss. No score, top of the second. The kick and the breaking pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. He kept getting that curve lower and lower, and Chris kept going after it. And I remember Eddie Lopat telling me, Fran Healy, a long time ago when he was pitching and I was playing, if a fellow will swing at a bad pitch, make it even a little worse the next time, they'll continue to go after it.
Good point.
So Dennis Leonard chalks up his first strikeout, and here's Roy White. White batted .269 with 13 doubles, 3 triples, 8 homers, 42 runs batted in. Fastball is outside, ball 1. George Brett playing very wide at third base. A lot of room by Brett, and down the left field line for Roy. Leonard's pitch outside. Now that's strange. They're playing him to pull, and yet he's thrown 2 pitches outside of the plate. 2 balls, no strikes.
Of course, Scooter, many times the catcher might want the ball inside, and the pitcher has a tough time hitting the target.
The 2-0 pitch, and it's fouled back upstairs, out of play. I just saw Patek. He's still trying to move the left fielder, Steve Braun.
Freddie's tough to see, though. He's only 5'3".
How about that beard he came up with?
Looks good.
The 2-1 delivery. Line to right field. That's a base hit. Could be extra bases. It will be. White around first, digging for second. Cowens up his throw into Frank White, and Roy White is on with a double down the right field line. So the Yankees continue to hit that ball. That's the 3rd base hit of the ball game. And it will bring up Brian Doyle. Brian batted just .192, but he was at bat only 52 times. And this would be an excellent time for Brian Doyle to get his first run batted in of the year. Left-hand batter, weight back on the back foot. Leonard sets, and the pitch fouled back and out of play on the screen. Brian does not have power. He just likes to make contact, spray that ball around. They have moved in the outfield. Braun in left, Otis in center, and Al Cowens in right. Good throwing arms for the Kansas City outfield. Leonard to the belt. And the pitch to Doyle fouled again, straight back on the screen. 0-2. Roy White bothering Leonard out there. Roy with a pretty good lead. On deck, Bucky Dent. So Dennis Leonard ahead on the count, 0-2. Roy White takes that big lead. Leonard checks him. Now delivers to the plate. Inside, and Doyle held up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Roy is going to really have to take off on a base hit to right field. Cowens not only playing shallow, but a great arm. And now the 1-2 delivery. Here it is, and it's slap foul, and Doyle protecting that plate. Pitch was outside. Doyle tried to go with it a little late, fouled it back into the seats down the left field line. So Dennis Leonard gets a new baseball. Gets the sign. And the pitch low. Again, Doyle laid off the pitch out of the strike zone. 2-2. And once again, Brett playing very wide at third base. He saw White bluffing a steal attempt. Started toward third. Now he goes back. 2-2 pitch fouled back off the screen. So Doyle staying alive, making Leonard pitch. Told you Brian was at bat just 52 times, struck out only 3 times. One man out. Roy White, who doubled down at second base. Leonard checks him. The kick and the pitch line right at Freddie. Better get back, and he does. Heads up base running by Roy White as Brian Doyle trying to go to left field. Just didn't get it quite high enough. A line drive about eye high to George Brett. But Roy White alertly got back to second. No double play. So Doyle lines to Brett. 2 men out. And now Bucky Dent. One of the many heroes the Yankees had, not only through the year, but in that big game yesterday, Fran.
Yes, it is, Phil. It's ironic that Bucky Dent has been pinch hit for all season, and he gets the big home run in Fenway Park.
All right, 2 out. Pitch to Bucky. A curve hits the outside corner. Strike 1 call. On deck, Mickey Rivers.
And Phil, Bucky, a pretty good hitter. Puts the ball in play last year. The 4th most difficult to strike out in the American League.
All right. Bucky struck out only 25 times all this year. Leonard sets. And a breaking pitch low and away, 1-1. So the Yankees had a scoring opportunity in the first inning, almost made the most of it as Nettles' long fly drove Otis to the base of the wall in deep center. Here with 2 out, Roy White at second. The outfielders move back now. So that on a base hit, Roy White can score. He's got an even bigger lead at second base. And Leonard's pitch is line. It's going to be a base hit, and the Yankees lead 1-0. White will score easily, and Bucky Dent continues his clutch hitting. A hard ground ball that Freddie Pate could not get to. It rolled on out into center field, and the Yankees are on the scoreboard, 1-0.
Bill Dennis Leonard threw that fastball out over the plate exactly where Bucky Dent hit it. Went with the ball right up the middle to drive in a big RBI for the Yankees.
All right, the 4th hit for the Yankees. Mickey Rivers, who lined to left field his first time up the batter. I imagine Bucky Dent used that same bat he hit that home run with yesterday that Mickey Rivers gave him.
I'm sure he did.
Pitch to Mickey, the curve high, ball 1.
He probably took it back to the hotel with him last night.
So Dennis Leonard's been touched up for 4 hits and an inning and 2/3. He throws to first, but Bucky was just about standing on the bag. No play.
Phil, most of the time when I caught Dennis Leonard, when he got to the set position, he would not throw to first base. It's usually when he was on his way down, he'd throw to first.
All right, the pitch to Mickey. Popped up. Freddie Patek moving back in shallow left field. And makes the catch. But the Yankees pick up a big run on 2 base hits, no errors, a man left. And at the end of an inning and a half, the Yankees won, the Royals nothing.
People use our money to get the most out of life.
To kids, the end of summer means going back to school. To parents, it means back-to-school expenses. Well, a loan from Household Finance could help. For things like new school clothes or tuition, come on into HFC. We'd like to help make school days a little easier. HFC, an equal opportunity lender.
Come on into HFC.
Give me transmission problems, huh? You lemon. Before you trade in your car for a more expensive model, come to AMCO Transmissions. We'll take you through our procedures step by step so you'll know the job we recommend is the right one. And the price we quote won't be an estimate, it'll be a firm price. At AMCO, we'll put you and your car back together again.
I'm going to get you new seat covers.
Free Yankee playoff tickets. Hurry down to your favorite Martin Brothers fashion store and register for your free playoff tickets. Martin Brothers clothiers for men, young men, and Yankees will have a drawing this Thursday for 50 pair of reserve bleacher seats. No purchase necessary. In New York, register at Martin Brother Onyx Pants. In the Bronx, at Getty State Pants, South Broadway, Yonkers. In New Jersey, it's Martin Brothers Carston, Broad Street, Elizabeth, and Fox's Fashions, Broadway, Bayonne. Be a winner. Shop Martin Brothers. Styles for champions. Price to score. Call in New York 733-5100. In New Jersey 436-6574. Okay, Darryl Porter, number 15 of the Kansas City Royals, will lead it off. The bottom of the second inning. The Yankees out in front of the Royals, 1-0. Porter will be followed by Pete Lecoq and then the designated hitter, Al McRae. Scooter?
All right, Porter finished at 265, 18 homers, 78 RBIs, takes a ball down low. He had a pretty good year against Yankee pitching. Jim Beattie winds, and the fastball just inside, 2-0. Beattie had a 1-2-3 inning. Getting Braun on a ground out, Brett to foul out, and striking out Amos Otis. The 2-0 pitch fouled back upstairs out of play. 2 balls and a strike. Beattie not wasting any time, and his pitch hit high in the air to center, but Rivers with a lot of room floating back and making the play, 1 out. So Beattie has retired the first 4 Royals. And that'll bring up Pete Lecoq. Batted .295 with 21 doubles, 2 triples, 5 homers, and 48 runs batted in. Very pleasant surprise this young man has been to the Royals, Fran.
Yes, he has, Phil. Of course, Clint Hurdle, the young rookie, had his problems this year. Lecoq replaced him in the lineup.
All right, the first pitch to the left-hand batter. High outside, ball 1. Al McRae on deck. And Beattie's next pitch fouled back and out of play. Lecoq very seldom pulls a ball. You give him a changeup or a curve inside, he'll do it. But on a fastball, it's usually left field or left center. So Beattie even on the count at 1-1. He wheels, deals, and it's fouled to left field line, back into the crowd, out of play.
If you notice, Phil, on that swing there, Lecoq took his bottom hand off the bat. A lot of the Royals hitters take the hand off the bat, and of course Charlie Lau, the hitting instructor, likes that.
All right, the 1-2 pitch, side-on pitch outside, 2-2.
I'm sure you'll have problems hitting with any sort of power when you take that hand off the bat.
Now the 2-2 pitch. Almost went after a fastball out of the strike zone. Held up, it's 3-2. Yankees in front, 1-0, bottom of the second, 1 out, nobody on. The payoff pitch fouled back and out of play. So far, Beattie keeping the Royals from their game plan of getting men on and trying to steal. Although Lecoq definitely is not a threat to steal. The 3-2 pitch, high, ball 4. There's the first base runner of the ball game for the Royals. Base on balls for Beattie. And that'll bring up the tough Al McRae.
Of course, Scooter, is very unusual when you come into town, and McRae is batting 6th in the lineup.
That's it. Down at 273. That's a little unusual, but he had 39 doubles, 5 triples, 16 homers, and 72 runs batted in.
And he's had shoulder problems. Hurt his right shoulder playing tennis.
All right, the pitch is high, ball 1. I'm sure the manager, Whitey Herzog, was happy to hear that.
Yeah, no, it's unbelievable that, they would go out and give a game of tennis 100% during the baseball season.
All right, 1 ball, no strikes. Lecoq leading off first base. Beattie checks him. And the fastball is high and tight. 2-0.
That ball right there, Phil, gave Thurman some problems. And it looks like he was not crossed up, so obviously Beattie's fastball doing some tricks out there.
All right.
He'll throw 2 type of fastballs. One will sink and the other one will run in on the hitter.
All right, 2-0 now. Beattie to the belt. Swing and a miss, and McRae went fishing for a fastball outside, trying to go to right field. Now he turns, asks the plate umpire Lou DeMuro where was the pitch. But Lou did not tell him. He doesn't have to. He didn't say, may I? All right, 2 balls and a strike. Lecoq with a very short lead. He's going. And the ball is inside Munson's throw. And he's safe. Ron Luciano, Dent had to come in as Munson's throw tailed back towards first base. They'd have had him easily. Bucky missed the tag, and even though Lecoq went quite a ways off second base, Bucky could not get back.
And right there, of course, Lecoq got a pretty good jump off of Jim Beattie. Beattie having trouble getting the ball to the catcher rapidly. And, of course, the Royals know this. They've played against Beattie. Lecoq got a pretty good jump. Munson got rid of the ball quickly. And I'm sure Munson has in his mind Beattie's slow move to home plate. So he got rid of the ball a little quicker than usual, and the ball tailed into the runner, like the scooter said.
All right, 3-1 the count. Beattie kicks, delivers high, ball 4. And now Munson's going to go out and talk with Beattie.
I'm sure, Phil, he's going to talk to him about keeping those runners close. Also, he might be rushing himself a little bit too much, and that's why he's out of that strike zone. Incidentally, Phil, Hal McRae led all hitters in the American League Championship Series last year in hitting with a .444 average.
All right, so he's at first. Lecoq at second. Al Cowan's the batter. Cowan's batted .274 with 24 doubles, 8 triples, 5 homers, 63 runs batted in. So the Royals got a break on the stolen base. And then a walk to McRae. 2 men on, 1 out. Yanks lead 1-0. Beattie sets. And the pitch is high, ball 1. The Royals have not done much swinging the bat against Beattie. Now they're taking pitches, making them work. The 1-0 pitch, swing, foul. That'll be out of play, back on the screen. Hit it right off the end of the bat. That might have been ball 2 had Collins laid off it. Outfield plays Al Cowan straight away in left, center, and right. The infield deep. He can fly. Beattie comes down to the belt. And the pitch fouled again, back in the seats, out of play over the Royals dugout. So maybe Jim Beattie back in the groove now. Ahead on the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Fran told you there are 6 umpires in the playoffs, as there are in the World Series. 1 down the left field line, 1 down the right field line. Beattie taking his time, steps back off the rubber, wants to double check the sign with Munson. Now back on the mound. And he's got the sign he likes. Checks Lecoq. The pitch to the plate, bounce to third base. Nettles grabs it in foul territory. Nice backhand kick at the bag, just in case the ball was foul. And now Dent comes in, has a little chat with Beattie very quickly. So Collins, who is all the way down past first, comes in.
In the Yankee bullpen, Kenny Clay now throwing.
All right, Collins steps back into the batter's box. Lecoq leads off second. McRae with a big lead off first. And the stretch by big Jim Beattie. His pitch struck him out on a beautiful breaking pitch. Cowan's way out in front, missed it off the end of the bat. Beattie's second strikeout. And that'll bring up the little guy, Freddie Patek. Patek ended the year at .248, 23 doubles, a triple, 2 homers, 46 runs batted in. And nobody will ever forget the pathetic figure of little Freddie Patek crying, head slumped over on the bench, nobody else there, after he made the final out in the final playoff game here at Royal Stadium last year. He lays the bat on the right shoulder. And Beattie's pitch popped up. Beattie will make the play, waving everybody away, makes the catch. He jammed him right off the hands. That's it. That Beattie's taking charge. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 men left. At the end of 2, the Yankees won and the Royals nothing.
When do you say Budweiser? Whenever the moment is right for a great beer. When do you say Budweiser? Whenever the good times are moving to right here. After the work is done, while you're still having fun, anytime's the right time to say it. When do you say Budweiser? Bud the beer for any time at all. When do you say Budweiser? The smile on your face tells the world what you're thinking. 'Cause when you say Budweiser, the #1 beer is what you'll be drinking. After the work is done, while you're still having fun, the king of beers is waiting for your call. When you say Budweiser, you say it all.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Say, what's another name for action, Bill?
Oh, that's easy, Frank. Yoo-hoo.
Right, Yoo-hoo chocolate drink.
And Yoo-hoo keeps your action up.
And it's got a super chocolate taste. Rich chocolatey chocolate.
Great frosty refreshment.
Best of all, Yoo-hoo's made with nourishing low-fat milk. Ordinary soft drinks are made with water. Yoo-hoo adds milk.
And that's what makes Yoo-hoo better.
Like Yogi says, if you like chocolate, you're going to love Yoo-hoo.
Try Yoo-hoo chocolate drink from Iroquois Brands.
Yoo-hoo, the action drink for action people.
Okay, the final statistics in the American League. The leading hitters, Rod Carew, his 7th batting crown. He ended up with a .333 average. Al Oliver, Texas, .324. Jim Rice in Boston, outstanding year. He hit .315. Lou Piniella ended up with a .314 average. And Vin Ogilvie, the Milwaukee Brewers, .303. Leon Roberts, Seattle, .299. Amos Otis, .298. Freddie Lynn, .298. Okay, here in Kansas City to score, the Yankees 1, the Royals nothing. Top of the 3rd inning, Thurman Munson steps in to face Dennis Leonard. Phil?
All right, Munson ripped a single to right field his first time up and takes a pitch outside, ball 1. Lou Piniella on deck. And Leonard kicks, delivers. It's low, ball 2, 2-0. And Leonard and Porter wanted that pitch. Lou DeMuro said a little bit outside. Amos Otis is shading Munson slightly towards right center. The 2-0 pitch bounced to third base. Deep is Brett. The long throw, good throw this time, and gets him. Brett is known to throw every once in a while into the seats. 1 away.
And now 20 seconds for our local stations to identify themselves.
This is WINS 1010 New York. The temperature 57 degrees and cloudy at this hour. And our top stories here at WINS. The New York Post may publish tomorrow now that the pressmen and paper handlers have ratified a new contract. The machinists have a tentative agreement. The Senate takes up ERA ratification extension, rejects a House bill to extend approval to June of 1982.
All right, Lou Piniella, who bounced into a force play his first time up. With 1 out, nobody on, and the Yankees leading 1-0 in the top of the 3rd. Takes a strike right down the middle. Every once in a while, Lou will take a pitch just to look at how fast the ball is coming in, if it's moving. Now he's ready to swing, and checks his swing. It's low outside, 1-1. Reggie Jackson on deck. The 1-1 pitch. Slow curve popped up on the right side. Lecoq coming over in foul territory. and drops it. And Porter went too far, got in his way. Lecoq was trying to lean forward and backwards at the same time, and that's hard to do. A break for the Yankees.
It's very difficult on a body. But Porter, on a play like that, he has to give Lecoq the opportunity to catch the ball. If Lecoq's playing way back, then Porter has to call him off. Right there, communication problem.
So the Yankees get still another break. And now it's 1 ball, 2 strikes on Piniella. They have not put an error up, evidently figuring it was a difficult chance. The 1-2 pitch. Fly ball right field, but Cowens is right there. Hardly has to move. One hands it for the second out. And now Reggie Jackson, the man who seems to thrive in late September and early October.
Phil, the afternoon paper out here in Kansas City, the manager of the Kansas City Royals, a little bit upset that he does not have a new contract yet. Woody Herzog.
No kidding?
Yeah, he wanted that new contract. Of course, the general manager, Joe Burke, said that usually around August, if you haven't been fired, you can be assured you'll be back the following year.
All right, Reggie singled to center his first time up. Took an extra base on a heads-up play. Takes a curve low, ball 1. Dennis Leonard winds. Pitch lined at deep right center field. It's going to go to the wall. Son of a gun hit the base of the wall, and it'll be a double for Reggie Jackson. Man, did he hit that one. A line drive, 410 feet, hit the base of the wall in deep right center field. And I don't know what it is about late September or early October, Fran Healy, but Jackson really comes to play.
Yes, he does, Phil, and he hammered that ball. Leonard made a good pitch on Jackson. To try to get Jackson out, you have to pitch him inside. The ball was a good pitch. It was down and in. Jackson, obviously looking for the ball, hammered the ball to the right field wall. They have some new padding up on the wall out there in the outfield here in Kansas City. Most of the time, that ball hit the wall and kicked all the ways back into the infield.
Are you reading all that from the paper in front of you?
No, I was looking at the monitor.
Oh. Greg Nettles takes a pitch high, ball 1. By the way, in New York, Fran, you'd be perfect. They have a newspaper strike, and every night during the news, they have somebody read the funnies.
No kidding.
Yeah, I enjoy it. Soupy Sales, all those.
Well, I always felt that you could relate to the funnies.
Listen, you got to start your day with a smile. 1 ball, no strikes on Nettles with 2 out. Yanks leading 1-0 in the top of the 3rd. And now Nettles asks for time. Leonard doesn't see it. Now he's told by second base umpire Ron Luciano.
Phil, before the ball game, Jackson said he felt Dennis Leonard would try to pitch him inside. He was going to look inside.
All right, the pitch to Nettles, a curve, is inside, and he takes it 2 balls, no strikes.
And he felt that if he could hammer that pitch inside, that Leonard would go away from him, and of course that's his power zone outside.
All right, Steve Braun now moves a few steps towards the left field line. He was well over towards left center. Leonard kicks inside, but that time it's called a strike. Greg does not believe it. It was a breaking pitch. Must have just barely nicked the inside corner. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 out. Nettles' first time up drove Amos Otis all the way back to the wall in deep center field for his long fly. Jackson leads off second. Pitch to Nettles. Hit deep to right if it stays fair. And it's off the top of the wall. Holy cow, the Yankees have missed 2 homers by inches, and Nettles going to go all the way to third with a triple. And the Yankees lead 2-0. That ball couldn't have missed a home run by more than an inch or an inch and a half. Of course, Jackson scored easily. Nettles went to third. Cowens had trouble picking up that ball. And the Yankees taking advantage of every opportunity.
And Phil, once again, Leonard made a good pitch on Nettles. It was the fastball up and in. Nettles, a good fastball hitter. Always geared for the fastball. Drove the ball deep, and like you said, inches away from a home run down the right field line.
Well, again, they have not given Cowens an error on the ball. The Yankees have really been taking advantage of the opportunities. A line drive triple for Greg Nettles, driving in Jackson. The Yankees lead 2-0. Nettles at third. The pitch to Chambliss is a curve over, strike one call. Dennis Leonard been touched up for 6 base hits and 2 runs with 2 out here in the top of the third. He checks Nettles. Now winds the pitch, swing and a miss. He's getting Chambliss on that ball, breaking down and in.
Okay, in the Kansas City Royal bullpen right now, right-hander Doug Bird, left-hander Steve Mingori.
2 out, 2 strikes on Chambliss. Nettles at third base. And Greg Bluff coming down. I tell you, once in a while, a pitcher will see him out of the corner of his eye and balk. But Leonard didn't. A fastball, strike 3 call. Chambliss called out on strikes. But the Yankees pick up another run on 2 base hits, no errors, and a man left. And now at the end of 2.5, the Yankees 2 and the Royals nothing.
You and your 78 Plymouth Arrow. It's a lot more than just fun.
Wherever we go, everyone knows it's me and my Arrow.
It's standard tinted glass, tilt wheel, and reclining buckets. It's a wide hatch and fold-down rear seat. And then, of course, it is fun.
Me and my Arrow.
It's not just a car you can handle. It's a gasoline bill you can handle, too. Because for 78, every Arrow features air injection in our new MCA jet system.
Me and my Arrow.
And while your mileage may differ, an Arrow with our standard 1600cc engine and manual transmission is EPA rated at 39 highway, 29 city. The 78 Arrow. Miles and miles of heart.
Okay, Rickle has it all at their Big Fall Super Sale. Everything you need for your home or car at terrific savings. You'll now save 18% on each quart of Quaker State 10W30 Super Blend Motor Oil. Pay just 59 cents per quart of this quality oil with special anti-rust, anti-corrosion, and detergent properties. Limit on this value is 6 quarts per customer, so hurry into the Rickle Fall Super Sale, pick up your circular, and save. Okay, quickly in the National League, final statistics. Parker with Pittsburgh won his 2nd batting crown in 2 years. He batted .334. Garvey, Los Angeles, .316. Cruz, Houston, .315. Richards, San Diego, .311. Winfield, San Diego, .310. Clark, San Francisco, .306. Rose, Cincinnati, .302. Burrows, .301. He's with the Braves. Cincinnati Reds, Dave Concepcion, .301. And Enos Cabell with Houston, .295. Phil?
All right, Frank White leads it off for the Royals, and the curve is high from Jim Beattie, ball 1. Frank White batted .275, had a fine year. 24 doubles, 6 triples, 7 homers, 50 runs batted in. Fastball is a little bit low. 2 balls, no strikes. And here's a man you want to keep off the bases. He can fly. The 2-0 pitch right down the middle. He was taken all the way. Hoping to work his way on with a base on balls. 2-1. Beattie winds and the pitch is bunted. Let it go, but Nettles picks it up, throws to first. Hey, holy cow, I don't believe it. What a play by Chambliss. He couldn't do that again in 100 years. I don't believe it. Fran Healy, will you talk about that play?
Just unbelievable play. Nettles picked the ball up and flipped the ball to first base. A big hop for Chris Chambliss. And Chambliss, they call him the snatcher. That's exactly what he did. He snatched that ball. Just an unbelievable play, Scooter, as we watch it on the monitor once again.
All right, Steve Braun takes the strike. Braun bounced out to second base his first time up. What a play by Chris Chambliss. Beattie winds his changeup low inside, 1-1. Chambliss been making some great plays around first base. 1-1 pitch hit in the air to center field. Rivers right there. Mick playing him perfectly, makes the catch, and they're a 2-away.
Some of our pregame guests received gift pack of toiletries from Yovan. The earthy fragrance of Yovan musk oil, aftershave moisturizing balm, stick deodorant, and shower soap. Others receive a handsome watch from the Citizen Watch Company, one of the world's largest watch manufacturers. Citizen watches are known for superior accuracy, exceptional styling, and durability. Scooter, do you use this Yovan stick deodorant?
Nobody's ever given me any. There's a high fly to right field. Easy chance for Piniella. Starts in, moves back, makes the catch, and on 1-2-3 inning for Jim Beattie. At the end of 3 full innings, as I bid aloha to Fran Healy, the Yankees 2 and the Royals nothing.
Wherever you may roam, you'll find our name is known. You can trust a Delco.
Thanks, Delco.
Delco Freedom Battery.
The Delco Freedom Battery is truly maintenance-free. It never needs water, so the power is sealed in. Get freedom. You'll say, thanks, Delco.
You're welcome.
They've got the stuff when the start is tough. You can trust a Delco. Thanks, Delco. Delco Freedom Battery. Delco, thanks, Delco.
Ever think what goes into building a quality tire? Firestone does. It's a complicated process, taking the right blend of technology, skill, and dedication to quality. Quality. That's what we strive for at Firestone, and that's what you get in our double-belted Deluxe Champion Super Belt tire. It's polyester cord body, 2 fiberglass stabilizer belts, and computer-designed thread work together to give you the performance and smooth ride you've come to expect from Firestone. But I saved the best for last. Right now, they're on super sale with the lowest prices in 3 years. You heard right. They're at the lowest prices in 3 years, and that means you save from $22 to $49 per set of 4. In fact, 4 A78-13 black walls are only $89 plus $171 federal excise tax per tire and 4 old tires. The time is now. The place, Firestone. Charge them if you like, but don't wait too long. A Firestone sale this super hasn't happened in 3 years. Okay, Roy White leads it off for the New York Yankees. At top of the 4th inning, the score, the Yankees 2, the Royals nothing. And now here with the play-by-play, Mr. Frank Messer.
Hi, Fran Healy. Thank you very much, and good evening, everybody, wherever you might be listening to Yankee baseball. Roy hits the first pitch on the ground right at the second baseman, Frank White, who throws him out. 1 away, and we'll pause 5 seconds for station identification on the New York Yankee Radio Network.
57 degrees and cloudy at 9:36. This is WINS 1010 New York.
Brian Doyle will step in. Brian lined out to the third baseman, George Brett, his first time at bat. I'll tell you, Fran, I had to like the way Doyle swung the bat there. He had a line drive. He hit it right at Brett, but he hit the ball.
Yes, he did, Frank. He hit the ball exactly where his pitch. He slapped the ball the other way.
Left-hand hitter takes the pitch outside.
And Leonard threw him a fastball outside on the ball that he lined to George Brett.
Yankees are leading by a score of 2-0. Yanks have 6 hits. Next pitch, check swing foul.
Frank, a reminder, there are no longer any bleacher tickets left for the American League Championship Series when it returns to Yankee Stadium Friday. So all tickets now have been sold.
And for the umpteenth time this year, we're going to have a sellout crowd at Yankee Stadium. That's great. I'll tell you, the way these guys have played baseball, they have thrilled fans not only in New York, but all around the American League. 1-1 pitch to Doyle. Outside and high, ball 2.
Frank, an outstanding pressure ball club. I'm sure there have been clubs more talent. But in pressure situations, they have no peer.
Leonard's 2-1 pitch to Doyle. Comes inside with a fastball. It's 3-1. So the count's in Brian's favor. 3 balls and a strike. Dick Hauser relays a sign from Bob Lemon as to whether Doyle can swing or whether he must take. 3-1 pitch. He swings and it's sharply on the ground, and it's fielded and knocked down and lost by Frank White. Ball got through to what would be the outfield grass. That should be a base hit, and is a base hit for Brian Doyle.
Frank, it should be a base hit, but that's a play I've seen Frank White make many times. Very good second baseman with a great deal of range.
Well, in the first inning, we saw a play Frank White should have made and has made many times, and that was but he should have got the double play, and the ball hit by Piniella. The Royals are playing uptight.
Well, they could be, of course, right there. Most of the time, Frank White plays on that outfield grass because the ball gets to him rapidly. There he had to cheat for the double play, and the ball was spinning.
Doyle goes, and Bucky Dent pops it up. Foul off the first base line, and the first baseman, Lecoq, settles under it and makes the catch. They had Doyle running on the first pitch to Dent. He tried to hit it to right field and popped it up.
Frank, to get back to that ground ball, too, White, on ground balls here on the AstroTurf, it has kind of an overspin to it. It's like a top. You have to stop the ball before you can throw it. Many times the infielder will take his eye off the ball and the ball will spin right out of his glove, and I believe that happened to Frank White.
Mickey Rivers will step in. He has flied to left and popped up to the shortstop. Doyle down at first, 2 away. The Yankees lead 2-0. A double by Roy White, a single by Bucky Dent accounted for the first run, a double by Reggie Jackson, and a triple by Greg Nettles got the second one in. Throw to first drives Doyle back. Pete Lecoq holding Doyle on at first as Leonard starts his move. Right-hander comes set, and the pitch. Rivers fouls it straight back. Just appears as the Royals are just uptight in this ball game some way or other. Amos Otis kicked the ball around out there in center field. He's charged with an error.
And very unusual for Amos Otis. I'm sure that the Royals have on their mind the past 2 championship series in which the Yankees came back to win dramatic finishes.
Leonard's 0-1 pitch. Low to Mickey. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Frank, if you're going to give a psychological edge to any ball club in this series, it has to go to the New York Yankees.
I tell you, there shouldn't be any pressure on the Yankees after yesterday. It all had to evaporate. Throw to first base drives Doyle back again.
Of course, the thing you really have to be careful of is the Yankees being burnt out by the division race with the Boston Red Sox. The Red Sox played at a torrid pace most of the season, had a great year, won 99 ball games.
Almost enough.
It's unbelievable when you win 99 ball games, and it's not enough.
Really is, and they certainly were winners this year. They have nothing to be ashamed of. I think Boston fans should be very, very proud of their ball club. Doyle at first, the pitch to Mickey. It's a ball, and the count is 3-1.
And Frank, a race like that, great for baseball. Not real good for the hearts of the players. Great deal of pressure.
If you get a chance, we'll talk about that game a little bit yesterday. Pitch coming to Rivers, and it is lined to right center field. That's going to be in for the base hit. Doyle is on his way to third, and the throw from Al Collins into the shortstop Potek. The Yankees have runners on the corners. Base hit number 8 for the Yankees.
Frank, when Al Collins first came to the major leagues in 1973, that ball there, he throws Doyle out at third base. He had one of the greatest arms I've ever seen on an outfielder, and accurate.
All right, now runners first and third, 2 down, and Thurman Munson the batter. Thurman singled to right field in the first inning. Pulled the ball and grounded out in the third. Lecoq will hold Rivers on. Lou Piniella is on deck. The catcher Porter reminds Leonard that Rivers is over there at first. Throws over there, and Rivers steps back. I don't think that baseball fans anywhere at any time have seen a ball game with more drama than yesterday's game at Fenway. Leonard comes set. The pitch to Munson. Hit in the air to left field. It is deep. Back goes the left fielder, Braun, and makes the catch at the fence. Braun made the catch as he hit the padded wall in left field to retire the side. No runs. There were 2 hits and 2 men left. At the end of 3 1/2, the score is New York 2 and Kansas City 0.
People use our money to get the most out of life.
It's the same old story. You went shopping and now you've got some big bills to clear up. Well, with an HFC bill payer loan, you could consolidate those bills and make one monthly payment that may be less than the total payments you're making now. The bill payer loan, a solution to an old story. HFC, an equal opportunity lender.
Come on into HFC.
Hand-picked geese from Europe's great preserves are flown in daily. The October beers have been tapped. The Victor Herbert strings are delicately tuned. The Oompa Band's lederhosen are in place. It's time for the annual Oktoberfest at Luchow's, New York's 96-year-old dining landmark. The great Luchow's dining halls are filled nightly with sounds of feasting and merriment. The tinkling of beer steins, the joyous sounds of music of the gentle strings and the lusty Oompa Bands, in addition to the classic Oktoberfest dishes. The full traditional Luchow's menu is available. Choose a 7-course dinner at only $9.95 or drop in after theater for a lingonberry pancake. Luchow's has 3 opulent private rooms. Plan an Oktoberfest party at Luchow's, and perhaps you'll hear the echoes of Diamond Jim Brady whispering sweet nothings to Lillian Russell. Call Mr. Paul at 477-4860 for reservations. That's 477-4870. Luchow's, a way of life for 96 years. It's located at 110 East 14th Street, and there's free valet parking at dinner. The American Express card is honored, along with all major credit cards. Okay, for the Royals, it'll be Amos Otis, affectionately called A.O. here in Kansas City. He'll lead it off the bottom of the 4th inning to score. The Yankees 2, the Royals nothing. Right now, Greg Nettles jogs in to talk to their big right-hander, Jim Beattie. Home plate umpire Lou DeMuro takes a look at the ball. Otis, a habit that Amos Otis has, wants to look at the ball at all times. On deck, Darryl Porter, and Porter will be followed by Pete Lecoq. And Frank, that thing that Otis wanted to do right there, you want to take a look at the ball, upsets many pitchers in the American League.
That may have been one of the reasons Nettles went in there, anticipating Otis would ask for the ball. Here's the pitch to Amos. It's high for a ball. Otis had an excellent year, batted .298, led the Royals with 22 homers, 96 runs batted in. He was 4th in the American League with a .525 slugging percentage. 7 triples, 30 doubles. He stole 32 bases, thrown out only 8 times. Right-hand hitter, the pitch. Outside, it's ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes.
And Frank, Amos Otis, one of the smartest base stealers I've ever played with. Studies the pitchers.
Otis struck out in the 1st inning. He did not swing the bat well. He went for 1 pitch way out of the strike zone, as if he were reaching for the ball. 2-0 deal. Low and outside. It's ball 3. I'm sure you'll see Otis take 1 pitch, maybe 2 now. Trying to get on for Darryl Porter, the left-hand power hitter behind him. 3-0 pitch. He takes the strike from Beattie, and it's 3-1. The Yankees lead 2-0. Yankees have 8 hits. Royals so far have been held hitless by Beattie, who walked 2 men back in the 2nd inning. Lucky right-hander starts his motion, and Otis steps out again, perhaps to unsettle Beattie. Now he's ready, and here's the 3-1 pitch. Ball 4, he walked in. Beattie has given up his 3rd walk.
Frank, in a situation like that, when you have a 2-run lead, ball any situation, you have to get that first hitter, especially with a 2-run lead. And another quick reminder, there are no longer any bleacher tickets left for the American League Championship Series when it returns to Yankee Stadium Friday. So all tickets now have been sold.
Darryl Porter. Wide to center field, his first time at bat. Throw to first base, chases Otis back. We told you Otis stole 32 bases in 40 attempts during the season. He takes pretty good lead off first. Beattie drops the hands. There goes Otis. The pitch is taken for a strike. Throw to second. He's safe. Munson one-hopped the throw to Bucky Dent covering second, and Otis has stolen a base.
Frank, I talked about the psychological edge in a game like this. It affects Thurman Munson, I'm sure, to know that Jim Beattie will not get the ball to him as rapidly as he'd like. Otis, a great base stealer. I mentioned it earlier. Right there, he got a good jump off Jim Beattie and did not slide when he got to second base.
One strike pitch, low and in. Fastball, it's 1-1. The Royals now have attempted 2 steals and have been successful both times. Pete Lecoq stole in the second. Otis steals here. The 1-1 pitch from Beattie. Foul back by Porter. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yankees play Porter pretty much straight away on the outfield. The infield shades him around to the right side. 1-2 pitch. Hit on the ground, foul outside of first. It's a foul ball. Rolls toward the corner. Lou Piniella chases it down. The Yankees and the Royals meet again tomorrow afternoon. We'll be on with the pregame show at 3:15. Hope you'll be tuned right here on your Yankee Network station. An off day Thursday, and then back to the wars Friday night at Yankee Stadium. And as Fran has told you, the stadium is completely sold out for Friday night's game. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Porter. Ball 2 is high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two count. And he popped him up. Foul outside of third. Nettles may have a shot. Over toward the dugout he goes. Does he have room? He does, and he makes the catch. Ray Nettles had a little more room that time than he thought he did. He went as far as he could, then turned around and made the basket catch right in front of the Yankee dugout.
And Frank, a big out for the New York Yankees. Darryl Porter hammers the ball against the New York Yankees, and he feels very confident at the plate. So with the runner in scoring position and a score 2-0 in favor of the Yankees very happy to see Darryl Porter pop out in foul territory.
And now Pete Lecoq, left-hand hitter. Great big guy, but he's not a power hitter. Hits the ball to the opposite field. Lecoq walked in the second. They bunch him up the middle with Dent and Doyle both crowded in towards second base. The pitch, foul, straight back.
And Frank, I would not be surprised to see Amos Otis try to steal third base in a situation like this. It would be bad baseball if he got thrown out. If he's safe, he's lucky.
0-1 pitch. Foul down the left field line. That's his swing. He hits the ball hard, but he hits it to the opposite field. He's not a power hitter, line drive type hitter. We talk about the Friday championship game in New York. It will not be a night game. It is an afternoon game. If I've said night, I beg your pardon, but whenever it's played, it's sold out. It'll be played at 3:30 New York time. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Bouncing ball up the middle. Doyle to his right has a high bounce. Throws to first. He's out. Brian Doyle coming in front of the bag at second. The ball took a high hop on him. He had to go up for it. Came down and made his play.
Frank, a great play by Brian Doyle. Pete Lecoq just slapped that ball over the 6'6" Jim Beattie's head, out by second base. Doyle charged the ball, had to leave the ground to catch that ball, was on its way up again and made a fine throw as he was running towards the pitcher's mound to nip Pete Lecoq at first base.
There are 2 down on the play. Otis went to third, and now the batter is Hal McRae. Over the years, McRae has been one of the tough clutch hitters. Right-hand batter, and takes a slider, it looked like, for a strike. McRae hit .275 over the season. He had 16 home runs, 72 runs batted in. He had 170 base hits, and he scored 90 runs. Right-hand hitter. Beattie's pitch outside. McRae, as a designated hitter, has a lifetime .298 batting average.
And Frank Thurman Munson just motioned to Jim Beattie, telling him to look at Otis because he's afraid Otis will try to steal home.
1-1 pitch. High, and it's 2 balls and a strike to McRae. Al Collins is on deck. The Yankees are leading 2-0 here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Otis at third, 2 outs, and a pitch outside, ball 3. 3-1 to McRae. Al Collins is on deck. Beattie full motion, 3-1 pitch. Hit in the air to right field. Lou Piniella moving under it. Waiting, glove up, makes the catch, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, a walk and a man left. End of 4. It's the Yankees 2, Kansas City nothing.
The following is an actual unsolicited testimonial from a Chemical Bank customer. We've changed his numbers, but not his comments.
Dear Chemical Bank, I'm number 9546327, but I'm more than just a number. I'm a person. Thanks to Mr. Pearson, the branch manager, and his staff.
We figured it's time you heard about the chemistry at Chemical from somebody besides us.
It's a pretty popular bank, but Mr. Pearson doesn't let me stand on line.
But good chemistry is more than just avoiding lines.
It's like a good marriage with me and the bank. I know everybody there. They know me. They give me hands to shake and smiles, not computers and buttons to press.
While chemistry is important to good banking, some people are in it for the money, too.
Mr. Pearson gives me a lot of useful information about my money. He saved me a lot. You know, my son-in-law, the investment advisor, he gives me information, too, but I'd rather listen to Mr. Pearson. Hope my son-in-law isn't listening.
Thank you, 9546327, for finding the chemistry just right at Chemical. Member FDIC.
Hey, Frank, let's talk about Reggie.
Well, Bill, the man's great. He had 5 home runs and 1 World Series.
Frank?
He set 9 new records.
No, Frank.
Yes, he did, and he tied 4 others.
No, Frank, I meant let's talk about Reggie, the new candy hit. You've only got 44 of them in your pocket.
Oh, you mean this, Reggie? Well, they're great, too. I love that chewy caramel, those crunchy peanuts, that smooth chocolatey coating.
But, Frank, 44 of them?
Why not? If they're good enough to be named after Reggie Jackson, they're good enough for me.
Too good, Frank.
Okay, for those of you who have not heard, the dimensions here in Kansas City, down the line's 330, in the alleys 385, straightaway center field 410. Best way to defense here in Kansas City's Royal Stadium. Bunch your outfielders in the alleys, give them the line, because if the ball's hit down the line, it's a sure double. If the ball's hit over the shortstop's head or the second baseman's head, you can cut it off in the alley and hold them to a single. Now stepping in for the New York Yankees, who's 0 for 2 on the night, Lou Piniella. He'll face Dennis Leonard. He'll be followed by Reggie Jackson and Greg Nettles. Frank?
All right, Fran Healy. Leonard winds and the pitch to Lou, low and in. As Leonard starts pitching here in the 5th inning, Steve Mingori starts throwing again in the Kansas City bullpen out beyond the right field fence. The 1-0 pitch to Lou. Line. That'll be a base hit into right center field. Cut off in the alley, as Fran told you they would, by Cowens. Throws it back in, and Piniella is on. Well, Lou ended the season with a 12-game hitting streak, and he continues his streak in this first game of the championship series. There's a break in the action. With the score, the Yankees 2 and the Royals nothing.
This is Mel Allen. Some air freight companies have a lot of speed but no control. Thanks to Emery's computer tracking system, Emery is not one of them. Emery, the Air Force and air freight.
Okay, Steve Mingori will come on in relief of Dennis Leonard. Whitey Herzog with a quick hook here in Royal Stadium. Leonard has given up 9 hits, but only 2 runs. Lou Piniella led off the inning with a base hit to right field. He's on first base, and Dennis Leonard heads for the dugout. Mingori will face left-handed swinging Reggie Jackson and Greg Nettles and Chris Chambliss. The score here in Royal Stadium, the Yankees 2, the Royals nothing. And Frank, we were talking about the stats earlier in the evening. I'll go to the home runs, final stats. Home runs in the American League, Jim Rice led the league with 46 home runs. He was followed by Larry Heisel, the Milwaukee Brewers, with 34. Don Baylor, with a good year in the home run category, had 34. Andre Thornton, for the Cleveland Indians, an excellent year with the dinger. He hit 33. Gorman Thomas, the Milwaukee Brewers, supplied the Milwaukee Brewers with 32. He had a fine season with the dinger. Runs batted in, Jim Rice of Boston with 139. Rusty Staub of Detroit, 121. Larry Heisel, Milwaukee, 115. And Thornton again with the Cleveland Indians, 105. Don Baylor, the California Angels with 99. And Rico Carty of the Oakland A's. He was with the Toronto Blue Jays. He drove in 99. I look for Carty to go back to the Blue Jays in the offseason if they can make that deal. In the pitching department in the American League, Ron Guidry of New York with a 25-3 record. Just unbelievable. Was a left-hander with the New York Yankees. Bob Stanley, the Boston Red Sox, had an excellent year, and of course he picked up where Bill Campbell left off. Campbell had problems with the elbow, and he missed most of the season with the Boston Red Sox, but they were able to count on the big right-hander with the Red Sox, Bob Stanley. Larry Gura of the Kansas City Royals, who will pitch here tomorrow night against the Yankees. He was 16-4 on the year. Dennis Eckersley, who the Boston Red Sox acquired from the Cleveland Indians early in the year, with a 20-8 record. Okay, we're ready to go here in Kansas City. Lou Piniella on first base. Nobody out. Top of the 5th inning to score. The Yankees 2, the Royals nothing. Frank?
Lingori to Jackson. He swings and misses. Strike one. Lingori with a good breaking ball. He also throws a good screwball. Piniella down at first. Jackson went 2 for 2 against Leonard. And Reggie scored a run. Pitch on the way. Inside, gets away from Porter. There goes Piniella on delayed start and no throw to second base. Pitch got away from Porter, and we'll see what the score will rule on it. The count on Reggie, 1 ball and 1 strike. Lingori, over the season, relieved 45 times, 1 win, 4 losses, 7 saves. Now the 1-1 pitch to Reggie, low and outside. It's 2 balls and a strike. Lingori pitched to an earned run average of 2.74. In 69 innings, he walked 16 and struck out 28. Reggie swings and lines a foul ball back in the seats in right field, and we'll pause 5 seconds for station identification on the New York Yankee Radio Network.
57 degrees and cloudy at 9:59, WINS 1010 New York.
A passed ball has been charged to Darrell Porter on Piniella moving down to second base. So the Yankees, who lead 2-0, have a runner in scoring position, nobody out. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Jackson. The pitch, check swing, it's outside. Ball 3.
Frank Lingori features a fastball, mediocre fastball, a breaking ball, and his out pitch to screwball. Of course, he has more success against the right-handers with the screwball. Just recently started to throw the screwball to the left-handed swingers.
He's gone to a 3-2 count on Jackson. Right-hander Doug Bird is throwing in the Kansas City bullpen. Lingori into the belt, checks Piniella with a look. The pitch to Reggie, walked him. Ball 4, way outside.
That's an unusual pitch right there. A full count, and they throw Jackson a 3-2 breaking ball. Jackson likes to swing at the breaking ball. And if he has a problem, it's with the fastball inside. Lingori going to the breaking ball. Probably the only pitch he does not have real good control over. Threw the ball way off the plate outside. Very unusual, either a call or Lingori shook off the catcher and threw the breaking ball on his own.
Well, now there are runners at first and second, and Greg Nuttall steps in. Greg flied deep to center, then tripled to the right field corner. Just missed a home run by about a foot. The pitch to him, bouncing ball hit to the second baseman, White. He goes to Potek out at second, no throw to first. Potek looked, he wanted to get Piniella at third, and made no throw anywhere. They got the force on the middleman, Jackson. 4-6, and the Yankees have runners at first and third.
Frank, Reggie Jackson sliding into Freddie Potek very hard. Potek getting out of the way, did not make an attempt to throw the ball to first base. I'm sure the Royals very concerned this year with the Yankees coming down from first base, because the Royals are notorious for going into second base extremely hard. In fact, too hard.
That time Potek, when he did not make the throw to first, he spun around. In fact, I don't think he intended to throw to first at all. He was hoping to get Piniella perhaps on an overturn at third base. So the Yankees have runners first and third. Chris Chambliss the batter, and Chris has struck out both times. The first pitch to him, swung on and driven through the right side, base hit into right field. Here comes Piniella, he scores. On his way to third, and in there with a diving slide, Greg Nettles, and the Yankees lead 3-0. Chris Chambliss drilled it through the right side of the infield. Pinella scoring easily, and Nettles going all the way to third. Single, a run batted in for Chambliss. The Yankees lead 3-0. The run is charged to the record of Dennis Leonard, which is now complete. 4 innings plus 1 batter. 3 runs, 9 hits, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Everything else will be on the record of Steve Mingori. Yankees now have 10 hits in the ball game and lead 3-0. Runners first and third. Roy White, the batter, swings around and bats right-handed. Swings and misses, strike one. White doubled and scored in the second. He grounded out in the fourth.
Frank, this is the time a switch hitter has a problem. He has to turn around and go to the right side. Now he prepared himself from the left side for the hard-throwing Leonard. Now he's got the soft-tossing Steve Mingori.
Next pitch, down low, and the count goes to 1-1 on Roy. Nettles at third, Chambliss at first. The Yankees lead 3-0. Yankees had 2 hits and left 2 men in the first. They scored a run on 2 hits and left 2 men in the left 1 man in the second. This one is popped up on the right side. Frank White drifts back under it, and the second baseman makes the catch. Throws the ball back in quickly to Pete Lecoq, and Nettles, who forced the throw, goes back to third. There are 2 down. That's a big out right there for Mingori.
The second baseman, Brian Doyle.
And now Brian Doyle lined out his first trip, then singled. Doyle, a left-hand batter. In case you had not heard, Willie Randolph was put on the disabled list for the series. If Willie's leg heals, he would be eligible for World Series play if the Yankees win this series and go on to face either the Dodgers or the Phillies. Pitch to Doyle, cut out and fouled over toward the first base dugout. I talked to Willie Randolph before tonight's ball game. He said he felt that his leg was much improved, but of course it will not allow him to play in this series. He is not eligible for play against the Royals, but he could be made eligible for further play.
Of course, very valuable to the Yankees offense and defense. Right now, here in Kansas City, at the score of the Yankees 3, the Royals nothing. Doug Bird, a right-handed reliever, starts to throw in the Royal bullpen.
They play Doyle up the middle. The pitch to him is line, base hit into right field. Almost hit Chambliss. Here comes Nettles in to score. Chambliss has to stop at second. Roy Doyle drilled that one hard. Line drive, almost hit Chambliss, who hit the deck to keep from being hit by the batted ball, and the Yankees go out in front 4-0. That is the first run batted in the major leagues for Brian Doyle, and Chris Chambliss is shaken up down at second base. Trainer Gene Monahan goes out to check on him.
And Frank, that ball almost hit Chambliss. He had a jump out of the way of the ball, and Doyle hit a bullet in the right field. Of course, Doyle's the type of hitter that will hit Mingori very well. He has that short stroke. He just puts the bat on the ball.
Well, he did not drive in a run during the regular season, but he got a very important base hit here to knock in run number 4. The Yankees lead 4-0, and Bucky Dent is the batter. Up there with a borrowed bat, again as yesterday. Takes a pitch over, strike one. Dent single to drive in Roy White in the second inning with the Yankees' first run of this game. Using Mickey Rivers' bat as he did yesterday when he hit the home run. Hits this one on the ground to the shortstop Patek. He's up with it, races to second to execute the force on Doyle. The Yankees score 2 runs on 3 hits and leave 2 men on. At the end of 4.5, the score, the Yankees 4 and Kansas City nothing.
Say, Frank, who says Yoo-Hoo's just for kids?
Not so, Bill. Yoo-Hoo is for anybody who loves a delicious, refreshing chocolate drink.
It's Yogi's favorite.
Yep. Yogi loves Yoo-Hoo's cool, creamy chocolate taste.
That's because Yoo-Hoo is made with nourishing low-fat milk.
Right. And it's non-carbonated. Instead of filling you up, Yoo-Hoo keeps your action up.
For taste, refreshment, and nourishment, Yoo-Hoo chocolate drink is today's best soft drink value.
Yoo-Hoo, the drink of champions.
Try Yoo-Hoo chocolate drink from Iroquois Brands.
The day is
time to let it go. It's the moment to unwind. So just say bud. And pour the king of beers and settle back and please yourself. No matter what you do, no matter when or where, you know a glass of bud is like an easy chair when you say Budweiser.
Let me tell you, friend, settling back with a long day behind you and a cold bud in front of you, man, that's living.
When you say Budweiser, you said it all.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
Okay, it's very quiet here at Royal Stadium, and Al Collins will step in to lead it off for the Royals. The bottom of the 5th inning, the score, the Yankees 4, the Royals nothing. The Yankees 4 runs on 11 hits and no errors. The Royals no runs on no hits and 1 error. Frank?
Al Collins leads it off, to be followed by Fred Patek and Frank White. Collins struck out in the second. Beattie is ready to work to him, and the pitch, a breaking ball, is swung on and missed, strike one. Collins had 2 seasons, a bad first half in which he was injured and a good second half in which he was healthy. He batted .320 against Yankee pitching this year. Collins last year was runner-up for the Most Valuable Player Award in the American League to Rod Carew. The 0-1 pitch popped up behind the plate, and it'll come back on the screen out of play. No balls, 2 strikes on Collins. Beattie is ready to work, and does. High and in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. In the minds of most folks, Jim Rice will receive the Most Valuable Player Award this year, with Ron Guidry a very close runner-up. The 1-2 pitch. Cut on and bounced to third. It's a foul ball. Nettles got to it behind the bag and would have thrown him out, but it's foul. That was a mighty close call down at third base.
Well, Frank, Chris Chambliss once again snatched that ball out of the dirt. He made a tremendous play early in the game on a bunt by Frank White.
We talk about Ron Guidry. A cinch for the Cy Young Award, and Guidry also was named the American League's Player of the Month for September. Second time during the season, Ronnie won that honor. He also was Player of the Month in June. 0-2 pitch again to Collins, and check swing, drive to center field. It's in for the base hit. Rivers started in, now backs off to play it on the second bounce. Throws quickly in, and Collins is on with the first hit of the ball game off Jim Beattie. The first hit for the Royals off Beattie. Collins shunned up, just either slapped at it or tried to check his swing, but made contact and drove the ball out over second base. A clean base hit. Rivers had a quick thought about trying to shoestring the ball, realized he could not, stopped, backed off, and played it on the bounce. And now Fred Patek in, and a throw to first drives Collins back. Beattie throws over to first again, no play. The Yankees are leading by a score of 4-0 here in Kansas City. The Royals with their first base runner, or rather their first base hit, their 4th base runner. Beattie had walked 3 men prior. Patek takes a strike. Freddie Patek, it's a little unusual out there with a beard. Right-hand hitter. And the pitch, foul back. Patek, in the second inning, popped one up near the mound, and Beattie waved everybody off, and he made the catch. No balls, 2 strikes on Patek. A .248 hitter over the year. 2 homers, 46 runs batted in. Now the stretch by Beattie, the check of Collins at first, and the pitch. Foul back again. Fred Patek probably took the Royals' loss in the championship series harder than anybody else last year. Very intense ball player. Hey, that kid's about 5'1" or 2" makes the Chicago White Sox. Patek will no longer be the smallest player in the major league. The 0-2 pitch to him. Swing and a miss struck him out.
And Frank, they asked Freddie Patek how it felt to be the smallest man in the major leagues. He said it's better to be the smallest man in the major leagues than the smallest man in the minor leagues.
Well, he's right about that.
You know, it's interesting talking about minor leagues. You look at Jim Beattie coming out of the Yankee minor league system. They have Ron Guidry talking to Jim Beattie today about the minor leagues. He said the best pitcher he has ever seen in the minor leagues, a young man named Gil Patterson. Patterson with a bad arm right now.
I want to see that youngster come back.
Oh, yes.
Looked like he would be an excellent pitcher. Frank White steps in with a runner at first, one out, and swings on the first one, pops it up foul outside of first. That'll be over in the seats, out of play. No balls and 1 strike on White. White tried to bunt himself on, leading off the third, and Greg Nettles and Chris Chambliss came up with an excellent play. Nettles was up in the air, both feet off the ground when he threw to first base, and Chambliss short-hopped it out of the dirt to get White at first. The 0-1 delivery. Hopped up. In comes Doyle, the second baseman, in near the mound, under it, and makes the catch. 2 down. The Yankees are leading 4-0 here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. 2 outs, a runner at first, and the top of the batting order up, Steve Braun. Young man from Trenton, New Jersey, has grounded out to Doyle and flied to center. Left-hand hitter. Good eye for the strike zone. Beattie's first pitch. Outside. Fastball just missed. Munson and Beattie gave second quick looks to the plate umpire, Lou DeMuro, on the call. The Yankees lead 4-0. Beattie to the belt. The right-hander delivers. Fastball popped up outside of third. Nettles and Munson both after it. Over near the dugout, and it is unplayable. Thurman Munson grabbed the roof of the dugout, swung himself in, but could not get to the ball. Looked like Thurman might go down the steps, but he grabbed the roof of the dugout and swung himself in to the waiting arms of his teammates. 1 ball and 1 strike. Munson and Nettles going all out for it. Munson kept right on going, but tried to catch the ball, could not, and grabbed the roof of the dugout with his right hand to cushion himself, brace himself. 1-1 pitch coming to Braun. Cowens at first. Here it is. High. A fastball. 2 balls and 1 strike. The Yankees lead 4-0 in this first game of the 1978 American League Championship Series. Game number 2 tomorrow afternoon. 2-1 pitch outside. We'll be on the air at 3:15 with a pregame show for the stations which carry it. The game starts at 3:30 New York time tomorrow, and 3:30 on Friday at Yankee Stadium. 3-1 pitch. Line to right field. It's deep. Back goes Piniella and makes the catch. Piniella catches it just at the warning track and goes on into the fence but holds on. No runs, a hit. The man is left at the end of 5. It's the Yankees 4 and Kansas City nothing.
Today I've got a lot to do. Gotta get kids to school. Gotta open up the shop. First I gotta make a stop. Gotta share a ride today, 'cause saving energy's the way.
Gotta drop the shipment off. First I've gotta stop that golf. Meet all kinds of people, more than a million a day. Keep their lives moving on by making a stop along the way. At golf, the stop that keeps America going.
What brings over 1 million people a day to golf?
consistent, high-quality gasolines and motor oils, formulated by Gulf for top efficiency to help your engine last. Going somewhere? Remember, use your fuel wisely, and when it's time, stop at Gulf.
This portion of New York's finest baseball is brought to you by Specs, New York's finest athletic shoes. You know, when it comes to athletic shoes, Specs are a sure thing to take the Triple Crown again this year. Best performance, styling, and durability. Whether you're into basketball, tennis, running, or just hanging around looking good, you should be into Specs. Catch up with the Specs athletic shoes at over 600 fine stores in and around New York City. When you step into your Specs, you're ready to step out.
57 degrees and cloudy at 10:17, WINS 1010 New York. Our top stories. The New York Post may publish tomorrow now that the pressmen and paper handlers have ratified a new contract and the machinists have a tentative agreement. Conrail reaches a tentative agreement with the TW and Railway Carmen. And the French government is using its diplomatic influence to end the renewed fighting in Lebanon. The Senate rejects a proposal that would have required two-thirds vote by both houses to approve extending the Equal Rights Amendment on ERA.
Okay, National League leaders in home runs. Final statistics. George Foster led the league with 40 home runs. Greg Luzinski, the Philadelphia Phillies, with 35. Dave Parker, the Pirates, with 30. Reggie Smith, the Los Angeles Dodgers, 29. And Dave Kingman of the Chicago Cubs, 28. Willie Stargell of Pittsburgh with 28. Mick the Quick steps in. Top of the sixth inning, the score, the Yankees 4, the Royals nothing. Frank?
Rivers takes a breaking ball for a strike. Mickey is 1 for 3 in this game. He's flied to left, popped to the shortstop, and lined a base hit into right center. They play him up the middle with Brett down the line at third. And he bounces one over the mound, charging in Patek. High hop throw. He's out at first base. Excellent play by Patek, and a whisper close play at first base. Just did get Rivers. I didn't think Patek would get him.
Frank, I've seen Patek do this many times. He's as good as anybody getting this ball right over the pitcher's head. Patek comes in, gets the ball on the high hop with his glove, does not set, just flips the ball at first base to catch the speedy Mickey Rivers.
Very, very close play at first base. One away. Thurman Munson, the batter. Thurman singled his first trip. Has grounded out to third and fly deep to left field. Swings on the screwball and fouls it back. Munson in the fourth inning with runners at first and third. Hit a fly ball to left field that was caught by Braun against the fence. It is 385 out to left field. Munson bounces this one to third. Brett picks it off, throws to first to retire him, and there are 2 down.
Frank Munson did something there he very rarely does when he's swinging the bat well. He pulled the outside pitch. The ball was low and outside. He pulled the ball. He usually goes with that pitch and hits the ball hard to the opposite field.
It brings up Lou Piniella with 2 outs and nobody on. The Yankees lead 4-0. The Yankees have 11 hits in this game. 2 in each of the first 4 innings and 3 hits in the 5th when they scored 2 times. Royals have only 1 hit of Jim Beattie, a single by Al Cowens. Piniella is 1 for 3 and he scored a run. Takes the pitch outside, ball 1. Piniella wound up 4th in the American League in hitting behind. I will give you the hitters in a moment. He swings at this one, bounces it foul, and grabbed off by third base coach Hauser. Rod Carew led the American League with Al Oliver of Texas and Jim Rice of Boston. Then came Lou Piniella. Rice beat him out by 1 percentage point, 315 to 314 for third place. The pitch, low. I notice a comment quoted in the newspapers out here by Rod Carew, who says absolutely he will never again play for the Minnesota Twins. The 2-1 pitch to Piniella. Line on 1 hop to the shortstop, Patek, who comes up with it and throws him out to retire the side. At the end of 5 1/2, it's the Yankees 4 and the Royals nothing.
Listening to the game just isn't the same as being there. The special magic a hot summer's day and an even hotter Yankee Stadium crowd give to the game, well, it's just missing. So do something about it. Grab a Yankees Frank, because Yankees Franks have the taste that takes you out to the ball game, even when you're listening at home. Bite into one. Feel like cheering? Go ahead. The crowd won't mind. Yankees Franks. Colonial makes it.
I'm gonna send you and your bug transmission back to the country you came from. You're trying to destroy me.
Don't send your foreign car into exile. Come to AMCO Transmissions. We have a thorough understanding of foreign cars. In fact, AMCO expertise has reunited more owners with their foreign cars than any other transmission specialist. At AMCO, we'll put you and your car back together again.
Hey, now you're speaking my language.
Your Rickle Home Center has it all. Everything you need in home improvements at great savings, especially now during their big fall super sale. In the Rickle Lumber Department, you'll find super savings on 2-inch by 3-inch by 6-foot kill-dried studs. They're ideal for many at-home building projects and just 69 cents each. So stop into a Rickle Home Center near you, pick up a fall super sale circular, and take a good look around. Rickle has it all. Okay, we're going to the bottom of the 6th inning here in Kansas City. A full house. The fans come alive as George Brett, the third baseman, perennial 300 hitter, steps in. He batted only .294 this year, but had many injuries. He'll be followed by Amos Otis and then Darrell Porter. Frank?
George Brett is 0 for 2. He's popped up to Munson in foul ground and flied to right field. Beattie's first pitch to him, taken high. I understand Brett will have to have 2 operations after the season, one on his shoulder and one on his right hand. The thumb area heavily taped for this game, takes low, and the count is 2-0.
Frank, I mentioned he hurt the thumb earlier this year swinging the bat. He hurt the shoulder, breaking up a double play unnecessarily.
Count 2 balls, no strikes on him. Beattie ready to work and does, and gets the fastball over for a strike. 2-1. Beattie deals inside. Brett gives ground. 3 balls, 1 strike. Tonight, Beattie has been pitching from behind, but so far getting away with it. He has allowed only 1 base hit. He's walked 3, and he has struck out 3. There's a strike, and it's 3-2 on Brett. Beattie faced the Royals during the regular season, and they hit him fairly hard. His 3-2 pitch. Fastball is hit deep to right field. This one's going to be out of here, fair or foul. It is a foul ball. In the seats, foul.
Frank, I believe somebody once said, it's a game of inches.
Well, here they have 6 umpires for the game. The 4 on the infield, plus 2 more down the foul lines. Terry Cooney is the right field umpire. He went down the line to watch that ball. And again, Brett in with a 3-2 count. He hits this one back up the middle, and that's a base hit. He chopped down on the ball and drove it back into center field, going for second. Throw to second base. He's safe at second.
Frank, that's the way George Brett will play baseball, especially when he's healthy. When he leaves home plate, he has a double in mind. When he hit that ball to center field, he hesitated a moment and then broke to second base, and it was a very close play, but he looked like he was safe. George Brett, you mentioned he chopped down the ball. The ball looked like it was out of the strike zone. Brett tommyhawked that ball into center field.
Oh, 2-base hit for Brett. The Royals have a runner at second, nobody out, and Amos Otis is the batter. Brett, over the regular season, had 45 2-base hits. Led the Royals in 2-base shots. He's at second. The fans are alive now. The Yankees lead 4-0, and the Yankee bullpen will go to work. The batter, Amos Otis. Sparky Lyle will start to throw in the Yankee pen. Pitch to Otis. Foul back, out of play on the right side. No balls, 1 strike.
Frank in spring training, Amos Otis very upset because he felt the Royals were giving his center field job away to Willie Wilson. Of course, he responded with an excellent year, 298, 22 home runs, and 96 ribbies.
He led the Royals in homers and runs batted in. Right-hand hitter. He's averaged 16 homers, 74 runs batted in, and 29 stolen bases per season as a Royal. With figures like that, he shouldn't worry.
And also the contract.
Yep. He's got one of those extended lifetime type contracts, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
The 0-1 pitch to him. High and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Yankees lead 4-0. The Royals, with their second hit of the ball game, have Brett at second base. Beattie taking lots of time. Now starts his move. The hands down to the belt. The pitch coming. High. It's ball 3. Darrell Porter is on deck. Jim Beattie pitched and won a pressure ball game, his last start for the Yankees, Friday against the Indians in New York. The pressure building on him here with a runner at second, nobody out. The 2-1 pitch coming. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Beattie started out strong in his first 2 major league starts, went into a tailspin, went down to the minor leagues, pitched a no-hitter, came back, and turned himself around. 2-2 pitch. Fastball is fouled back. Beattie gives you now a little bit of that Louis Tiant type spin out there on the mound. He doesn't wind up, but he shows you his back and comes around and delivers to the plate. George Brett at second. Yankees play Otis straight away with the infield shaded a couple of steps to the left side. Doyle more so than anybody else. The 2-2 delivery. Low, and it's ball 3. 3-2 on Otis. Sparky Lyle up and working in the Yankee bullpen. A couple of left-hand hitters will follow here, with Porter on deck and then Lecoq.
Frank Kinney Clay also throwing in the Yankee bullpen.
Okay, Fran, now 3-2 coming to Otis. Brett at second. Here's the pitch. Walked in. Got him a breaking ball on 3-2 and missed with it. Low and outside.
Right now, manager Bob Lemon of the New York Yankees on his way out to talk to Jim Beattie. And right now, Jim Beattie, very young pitcher, the manager. He's been through it. A Hall of Famer and a great pitcher. Knows what's running through Jim Beattie's mind. And this is the edge Bob Lemon would have over most managers because he's pitched. Very important part of the game. I'm sure he will try to relax Jim Beattie because Beattie, throwing well, has only given up 2 hits. And the Royals have yet to score a run off the big guy. Right now, Bob Lemon on his way back to the dugout. Thurman Munson walks back behind the plate.
And there is a break in the action with a score. The Yankees 4, the Royals nothing.
This is Mel Allen. You know, Emery doesn't put a package through spring training just because it reports in out of shape or overweight. At Emery, they take any size package, any shape, any weight to practically anywhere. Emery, the Air Force and Air Freight.
Darrell Porter takes a pitch inside for a ball. It gets away from Munson momentarily, but Thurman hustled after it, and the runners had to hold. The Yankees are leading 4-0. The Royals threatening now with runners first and second, nobody out. Beattie sets and deals inside again with a fastball. It's 2-0. We'll pause 5 seconds for station identification on the New York Yankee Radio Network.
57 degrees and cloudy at 10:31 WINS 1010 New York.
2-0 pitch. Down low, it's ball
Beattie has lost the strike zone.
Right, many times your young pitchers coming into the major leagues give the hitters too much credit. They're trying to throw to location. What they should try to do, get ahead with that first strike, and then try to make the good pitch.
3-0 deal, and a strike is called to Porter. Beattie has retired Porter twice on a fly to center and a pop-up to Nettles at third. Pitching to him with Brett at second, Otis at first, nobody out. The set by the right-hander, the pitch coming. Foul back by Porter, it's 3-2.
Frank, Darryl Porter owns a lifetime average of .297 with 10 homers against the New York Yankees.
3-2 pitch, runners go, and he hits a fly ball to center field. Mickey Rivers is under it and makes the catch, and the runners go back. A little bit surprised to see the runners going there, down by 4 on a 3-2 to Porter, but they did, and he flied out.
Of course, that's how the Royals have played baseball since 1973, very aggressive. And right there, Darryl Porter swinging a fastball up around his eyes, definitely out of the strike zone. But of course, he's an aggressive hitter. It's better to be overly aggressive than to be passive at the plate. He could have taken that pitch and walked, but he could have also taken a good strike.
The batter is Pete Lecoq with 1 out. Yankees play him to the outfield, White over toward the foul line. The pitch is outside, ball 1. Lecoq has walked and grounded out on a nice play by Brian Doyle. Yankees lead 4-0. Royals 2 on, 1 gone. Beattie sets and deals high, and he is behind again. 2 balls and no strikes now to Lecoq.
And Frank, you mentioned earlier, very difficult to win when you pitch behind.
Beattie comes to the belt, checks second, and his pitch. Inside, ball 3. If he walks Lecoq, he might have faced his last batter. Beattie has allowed only 2 hits. He has walked 4, he has struck out 3. He'll be dealing 3-0 to Pete Lecoq, trying to get a strike. And he pitches high, ball 4. The bases are loaded.
Frank, very tough decision for the manager of the New York Yankees, Bob Lemon. He has a pitcher out there with good stuff. At times overpowering stuff, and a great major league curveball. And right now he made the decision. He's on his way out. He's going to hook Jim Beattie and bring in one of the 2, either Sparky Lyle or the right-hander, Kenny Clay. Okay, Bob Lemon made his motion with his right hand. He's going to the bullpen for the young 23-year-old right-hander, Kenny Clay. I mentioned a tough decision. You like to keep the pitcher in the game that's pitching if he can regain his rhythm. Right there, Jim Beattie had problems throwing strikes. Obviously, a great deal of problems with his rhythm, and that'll be all for the big right-hander. He'll leave the ball game after allowing only 2 hits to the Kansas City Royals. But right here, in the bottom of the 6th inning, the Royals have loaded the bases, and there's only 1 out. The batter, Hal McRae, and a good clutch hitter.
Well, Bob Lemon out there. Of course, Bob has ties here in Kansas City. He managed this ball club here in Kansas City. And when the Yankees came into the city last night, a lot of folks were congratulating Bob Lemon on his successful year as manager of the New York Yankees. And we picked up this note that Bob Lemon is the only man in the history of the American League to take over a ball club in the middle of the season as a manager and go on to win a championship. And we have to say championship because he did win the divisional title. He has not won the pennant, but he won the divisional title. It has happened a couple of times in the National League. Gabby Hartnett took over the Chicago Cubs in 1938 from Charlie Grimm and went on to win the pennant. And one other time in the National League, again with the Cubs, Charlie Grimm took over for Rogers Hornsby in 1932 and won a pennant. But neither team was able to win a World Series. Both lost the series in 4 consecutive games to the New York Yankees. But quite a mark Bob Lemon has made this year. He took over on July 25th. The Yankees in 4th place, 10.5 games behind Boston. Under Lemon, the Yankees won 49 and lost 20. Make that 48 wins and 20 losses to win their divisional title.
And Frank, Bob Lemon did a fine job out here with the Kansas City Royals. A players type manager. The players on the Kansas City Royals like to play for Bob Lemon. Right now, Bob Lemon goes to the Yankee bullpen as the Yankee skipper, and he brings in Kenny Clay, who was 3-4 on the year with a 4.28 ERA. Very big ball game for the young right-hander. Of course, Clay was used as a spot starter, a long reliever, and at times a short reliever. Very difficult for a young pitcher. Again, the scene. The bases are loaded. There's one out. It's the bottom of the 6th inning in Kansas City. The first game of the American League Championship Series. The Yankees 4, the Royals nothing. Frank?
Al McRae is the batter. Bases loaded, one out. They shade the outfield just a bit to the right side, and Clay's pitch is high outside, ball one. McRae against Beattie walked and flied to right. Beattie walked 5 men in the game. The next pitch is hit in the air to right field. Piniella is there, has it measured, makes the catch. Tagging up at third, heading home, Brett. The throw goes into second base, and the Royals are on the scoreboard. It is a 4-1 ball game. The Yankees leading as Hal McRae with a sacrifice fly gets Brett home, and Amos Otis tagged up at second and went to third. And now Al Collins with runners on the corners and 2 out. Collins struck out in the second, single leading off the 5th for the first base hit of Jim Beattie. Right-hand hitter. Kenny Clay out of Lynchburg, Virginia. Has the sign from Munson, drops the hands and the pitch. Strike one called on Collins. The Yankees now with 4 runs on 11 hits. The Royals 1 run on 2 hits. Runners at first and third. Clay checks the base runners and delivers. Bouncing ball is hit right side. Doyle to his left. Has it. The throw to first. He's out. And the side is retired here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. The Royals break through with 1 run on 1 hit. There are 2 men left on base. Bill White will be joining Fran Healy here for the broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been my pleasure. At the end of 6, it's the Yankees 4, the Royals 1.
I've got grease on my fingers, oil on my shoes. I'm always under the hood, but I wouldn't change places with anyone else, even if I could. I've worked on every car, big and small, every kind of engine too. And there's one thing that applies to them all, whether they're old or new. You can't buy a better plug for any kind of car than Champion. You can't buy a better plug no matter where you are than Champion. Champion's #1 in the world, they're #1 in your car. Some folks don't mind working in a big place, being part of a team. I prefer just me and that engine, nobody in between. You can't buy a better plug for any kind of car than Champion. You can't buy a better plug no matter where you are than Champion. Champion's #1 in the world, they're #1 in your car. No, you can't buy a better plug for any kind of car than Champion. You can't buy a better plug no matter where you are than Champion.
Say, Frank, what do you think has been Reggie Jackson's greatest triumph? Breaking the Babes record? Being named Series MVP?
Well, how about getting that delicious new candy named after him?
The Reggie bar? Come on.
Just think, Bill, to see your name on one of the greatest candies in America, Reggie. To know that every time someone bites into chewy caramel, crunchy peanuts, and smooth chocolatey coating, he lives that World Series excitement all over again.
Gee, that's beautiful. Let's eat a Reggie now.
Now? But who will announce the game?
Who do you think?
Oh,
Bill!
Okay, final stats. The RBI leaders in the National League. George Foster, the Cincinnati Reds, the winner with 120. Dave Parker, Pittsburgh, 117. Steve Garvey, Los Angeles, 111. Greg Lozinski, Philadelphia, 101. And Jack Clark, San Francisco, with 98. Okay, Reggie Jackson will lead it off here for the New York Yankees. The score, the Yankees 4, the Royals 1. Steve Mingori, left-handed screwball pitcher on the mound. Jackson will be followed by Nettles and then Chambliss. Now here with the play-by-play, Bill White.
Jackson has singled and doubled. He scored a run and he's walked. Yankees 4 runs, 11 hits. Royals 1 run on 2. Only error in the ball game charged to the Kansas City Royals. And the pitch now to Reggie Jackson. Fouled back, sidearm curveball. On the year, Reggie batted .274 for the Yankees, hit 27 home runs and drove in 97 runs. A big home run last night, or yesterday, in Boston at Fenway Park. A drive deep center field, actually the winning run in the ball game. Yankees' 5th run. Mingori now with a new baseball, looks in for a sign. He rocks, kicks, and deals a 1-strike pitch. Sidearm fastball is inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yankees pitching their kids here at Kansas City in the opener. Jim Beattie followed by Ken Clay. Sidearm curveball is high. It's 2-1. Infield playing Jackson to pull. The next pitch is curveball too low. 3-1. Mingori coming 3/4 of sidearm to the Yankee left-handed batters.
And Bill, I mentioned earlier, when I was out here in Kansas City, Mingori more successful against the right-handed hitter just recently. Started to throw the screwball to the left-handed hitter.
And the 3-1 pitch now to Reggie Jackson. Fastball misses outside, ball 4. Jackson walks.
And now 20 seconds for our local stations to identify themselves.
57 degrees and cloudy at 10:43 WINS 1010 New York. Our top stories. The New York Post will be published tomorrow now that the pressmen and paper handlers have ratified a new contract. The machinists have a tentative agreement. Conrail reaches an agreement with the TWU and Railway Carmen. The French government is issuing its diplomatic influence to end the renewed fighting in Lebanon.
Throw the first base, and Jackson just gets back. Mingori had Jackson leaning towards second base, flipped to Pete Lecoq. Jackson just got back. The batter's Greg Nettles. He's fly deep to center, tripled in a run, bounced into a 4-side and scored on a single by Denny Doyle. Fastball drives Nettles back. 1 ball, no strikes. Yankees leading 4-1 and batting here in the 7th inning. Yankees got a run in the 2nd, 1 more in the 3rd, 2 in the 5th. Royals coming back with 1 bottom of the last inning, the 6th. Now Mingori is ready. 1-0 pitch, swung on and missed. It's a ball and a strike. Brett playing wide at third base. The shortstop, Freddie Patek, almost behind second. Frank White playing a normal second base. Normally he plays back on what would be the outfield grass here. And Pete Lecoq holding on Jackson at first base. Here's the 1-1 to Nettles. Swung on and fouled back. A ball and 2 strikes. Royal outfield, Steve Braun in left. He's playing straight away. The center fielder, Amos Otis, 4 or 5 strides toward right center. And the right fielder, Al Cowens, over in the corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Nettles. Jackson off first. He's checked by Mingori. And the pitch misses outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Denny Leonard started. The youngster from Iona went 4 innings, plus 1 batter in the 5th inning. Gave up 3 runs. Bounced foul past Gene Michael, the Yankee first base coach. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes on Nettles. Leonard gave up 3 runs on 9 base hits. He had good control, did not walk a Yankee, and struck out 2. Well, they count 2 balls, 2 strikes on Nettles. Ball game slowing down just a bit here in the 7th inning with the Yankees ahead 4-1. Throw the first base and Reggie's back. Looks like we have more maroon coats out on the field than baseball players. 6 umpires for tonight's action. Dave Phillips and Terry Cooney down the lines. Phillips down the left field foul line. Terry Cooney the right field foul line. Line, base hit, right field. Jackson will try to gamble. Nope, he'll change his mind. He'll go back to second base. Reggie took a big turn at second base, but went back as Cowens got to the ball quickly. So the Yankees, with a walk and a single, have runners at first and second, nobody out, and the batter is Chris Chambliss.
And we're going to get some action in the Royal bullpen. Looks like right-hander Doug Bird.
Now, Bird had been up earlier throwing. In fact, the choice was made to bring on the left-hander Mingori to pitch to Jackson back in the 5th inning. So the Yankee runners at first and second. Time is called now. Chris Chambliss will have a discussion with Yankee third base coach Dick Hauser.
Well, it's always a tough decision here in Kansas City with the artificial surface, whether or not to bunt those runners over. You have to be a pretty good bunter. And, of course, one of the lost arts in baseball has not been practiced that often.
Chambliss doesn't bunt often anyway.
Right. Most of your good hitters will not bunt.
Now Mingori looking in for a sign. Now he sets and checks the runners. And the pitch. And it's bunted at and missed. Throw down a second. Have got Jackson hung up. Potek chasing the third. Throws it to Brett. And Brett will tag him as Nettles wisely goes to second base.
Bill, that play right there. Tough play for the runner if the hitter bunts through the ball. Of course, I've always felt if the hitter bunts through the ball and you make your initial break towards third base, the catcher comes up throwing. He has to throw that ball 127 feet and 3 3/4 inches. Take a shot at going to third. Right there, Jackson stopped dead. Try to get back to second base. Most of the time, if you break to third base, it will be a close play.
So Nettles wisely went into second base, and he takes his lead off there now with the count. No balls and 1 strike on Chris Chambliss with 1 away. Curveball is high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yankees leading 4-1. Chambliss singled and drove in a run back in the 5th inning. Mingori checks Nettles. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, hit in the air, shallow left. Coming on, the left fielder Steve Brown. He's there and makes the catch. Nettles halfway to third base, goes back to second. 2 outs. Now to bring on Roy White, the Yankee left fielder. He doubled and scored in the 2nd inning, scored on a single by Bucky Dent. He bounced to second in the 4th inning and popped to Frank White, the second baseman, in the 5th inning. So Roy is 1 for 3. The left fielder, Roy White. And the outfield straightens up for White. They do not play him too deep. As Nettles moves off second base with 2 away. Mingori checks him. And the pitch. Swung on and missed. Good screwball going down and away from Roy White. 0-1. Roy on the year for the Yankees batted .269, hit 8 home runs, drove in 42 runs. Once he started playing regularly the second half of the season, did an excellent job. Now the set by Mingori. And the 1-strike pitch. Outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Doug Bird still throwing in the Kansas City Royal bullpen located out in right field. It's a pretty ballpark. And it's full. Now the set. That makes it pretty. 1-1 pitch. Outside, 2 balls and a strike.
Especially to the owner.
Well, all of baseball. Baseball attendance way up. 6 clubs drew over 2 million this year.
Yes, they did. It's a tremendous year for all of baseball.
Now they're going to put White on intentionally and pitch to Denny Doyle. There's ball 4. Or check that, ball 3. I'm 1 pitch ahead. 3-1 on White, and this will be ball 4, and he'll go to first base. There's ball 4.
Bill, and you mentioned the attendance. Major League Baseball's dramatic attendance surge, which has been an increase of 36% in just the last 3 years and 76% in the last decade. Hit the 40 million milestone in the final weekend of the regular 1978 season. But getting back to this ballpark, I know the players complained about the dimensions. They wanted the fences moved in, but management said it would ruin the appearance of the ballpark. Of course, it's a good ballpark to hit in because of the AstroTurf. Hit that ball in the alleys, you've got a double or triple.
Ball seems to carry fairly well, too. I think management made the right decision. Here's Denny. Huh?
If you hit here, you wouldn't.
Here's Brian Doyle. He has 2 singles and 3 trips up. Left-handed batter. Curved ball is outside. Ball 1. Yankee runners at first and second. 2 outs. They count 1 ball, no strikes on Brian Doyle. Yankees have a 4-1 lead playing the 7th inning. The next pitch. Swung on. Pop foul. Over there near the stands. Pete Lecoq gets back in the seat 6 rows. 1-1. Nettles goes back to second base and White back to first. Doyle picking up his first run batted into the season. His last time up, drilling a single just past Chambliss as Chambliss was running between first and second. The pitch, too high, 2-1. On deck is Bucky Dent. Mingori bends forward for a sign. Still looking. Now he straightens. The 2-1 pitch. Outside, ball 3, 3-1.
Bill, I mentioned earlier, this is a type of hitter that Mingori really does not want to face. He likes to pitch to the big swinger. Throw that off-speed stuff. This kid will just put that ball in play.
Also make him throw strikes.
Right.
Mingori went on the backside, went to the rosin bag. Now he's back up, looking for a sign. Nettles off second, White off first. 3-1 pitch to Doyle. Swung on, line, foul down the right side. 3-2. Well, the runners will be off on this pitch. Nettles walking back to second base, has a quick word with the third baseman for the Royals, George Brett. Now he bounces back to the bag.
And Bill, after catching Mingori in a situation like this, I would rather see him throw that off-speed pitch to Doyle and go after the right-hander if he misses.
There's a pitch. Popped up behind the plate. Darrell Porter backs up, throws the mask away, and makes the catch. The side is retired. Yankees no runs, 1 base hit. They leave 2 men on base. Bottom of the 7th coming up. The Yankees 4, the Royals 1.
Plymouth announces a breakthrough in American automobiles. New Plymouth Horizon, the car you can drive in comfort and confidence on any kind of road.
Relax, Horizon can handle it.
Horizon gives you superb traction and stability in rain, in wind, in snow, because it's the first American-made car of its size with front-wheel drive. Horizon is loaded with standard features like rack and pinion steering, front disc brakes, AM radio, white wall radial tires, and front bucket seats. And the EPA estimated a manual transmission Horizon at 38 miles per gallon highway 25 city. Your mileage may differ. And Horizon is base priced at just $37.06, excluding taxes and destination charges. No wonder Motor Trend magazine is named Plymouth Horizon the car of the year. Anytime you want to go anywhere in comfort and confidence, relax. Horizon can have.
Okay, it'll be Freddie Patek leading off for the Royals, the bottom of the 7th inning. He'll face young Kenny Clay, who's on a relief of Jim Beattie. Patek, affectionately called Midget by his teammates. Bill?
There's another guy playing for the White Sox shorter than Patek.
5'1".
Yeah, Patek has popped up and struck out. Clay's first pitch is in there, called strike. It was Beck who brought Eddie Goodell to Major League Baseball a long time back in the 40s. Fouled back by Patek. No balls and 2 strikes. Yankees lead 4-1. Royals batting in the bottom half the 7th inning here at Royal Stadium. This is the first game of the American League Championship Series for 1978. The Yankees and the Kansas City Royals have met each other 3 straight years now. The Yankees, of course, winning the first 2, and they're on top of this ball game by a score 4-1. Chris Chambliss hit the big home run back in '76. Here's a 2-strike pitch to Patek. Swung on and missed. Got him with a high fastball. And there's one away. Patek striking out for the second time in the ball game.
The second baseman.
Last year, Fran, it took the Yankees until the 9th inning, scoring 3 runs to beat the Royals 5-3. I think Kansas City would rather have played the Boston Red Sox.
I've got to believe it. I was talking earlier about the psychological edge. If there is one, the Yankees have to have it.
Frank White. Nettles threw him out on a bunt in the 3rd. Popped up in the 4th and takes a strike. White's 0 for 2. The 1-strike pitch. Hit in the air right field. Pinella digging toward the line. In foul territory now and makes the catch for out number 2. 2 down. That'll bring on Steve Braun, the left fielder. Pride of Trenton, New Jersey. He's bounced to second, fly to center field, fly deep to right. He's 0 for 3. You know, watching the Royals take batting practice and infield practice, they were a very tight ball club. There was no joking around. And normally, when you see that, a team is tight.
Yes, this is true. Of course, they've got to remember the last 2 years in the playoffs.
Braun, a left-handed batter, takes outside, ball 1.
And it's interesting, Bill. Usually the Royals handle the Yankees pretty well during the regular season play.
Here's a 1-0 pitch to Braun. Called strike, taken all the way. It's 1-1. I can still remember Reggie Jackson and Paul Blair colliding out in right center field here this year. 1-1 pitch, low and inside. 2 balls and a strike.
Of course, if they didn't, baseball would not have had that exciting ball game yesterday.
Here's a 2-1 pitch to Braun. Too high, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. On deck is George Brett.
Not only that collision out there, Bill, but many times Mickey Rivers would go after a ball after that collision and stop dead as he saw Reggie going after a ball.
3-1 pitch, too high, ball 4. Braun walks. That's a 6 walk given up to the Royals. They've only gotten a 2 base hit, but those 6 walks are just as good as base hits. So Braun walks with 2 outs in the 7th inning. That'll bring on George Brett. And we'll take 5 seconds for station identification on the New York Yankee Baseball Network.
57 degrees and cloudy at 10:58 WINS 1010 New York.
Now the set and the pitch to Brett. Called strike down around the knees. And Brett says no, turns around. Says something to home plate umpire Lou DeMuro. Brett really hustled himself into a double in the 6th inning and scored the Royal run. Hit a routine ground single to center field. Gamble went into second base and got there just ahead of Bucky Dent's tag. Otis was walked. Porter flied out. Lecoq walked. McRae got him in with the sacrifice fly. That pitch is too low. It's 1-1. Chambliss playing behind Braun at first base with 2 down here in the 7th inning. Now Clay sets. And the pitch. Swung on. Hit one hopper to dead. He's up. Tossed to Doyle. Beats the runner to... Well, I'm watching Luciano. I don't know what kind of signal he gave. But anyway, the guy down at second base is out. And the side is retired. No runs, no hits, a walk, and a man left on base. And at the end of 7, the Yankees 4, the Royals 1.
Gotta bail and haul some hay.
Gotta share a ride today.
Gotta drop the children off. But first I gotta stop at golf.
People, all kinds of people, more than a million a day. Keep their lives moving on by making a stop along the way. Echo, the stop that keeps America going.
We give people some pretty solid reasons to stop at Go. Like gasolines that are adjusted for better performance in your part of the country. And a motor oil so good, it exceeds the recommendations of all U.S. car makers. And when it comes to stations, Gulf gives you a choice of traditional full service or the convenience and savings of our new self-serve stations. Some of our stations even offer a choice of both. Got somewhere to go? Remember, use your fuel wisely, and when it's time, stop at Go.
Well, you've got that feeling again. The feeling that this could be the year, that Yankee Stadium could be the place, that this Yankee team could be the team. When you've got a feeling like that, enjoy it with a Yankees Frank. Because Yankees Franks have the taste that takes you out to the ball game even when you're listening at home. Go ahead, bite into one. You can almost taste the pennant. Yankees Franks. Colonial makes them.
Bucky Dent, who's 1 for 3 in this ball game, will lead it off for the Yankees in the bottom of the 8th inning. The score here in Kansas City, the Yankees 4, the Royals 1. The Yankees 4 runs, 12 hits and no errors. The Royals 1 run on 2 hits and 1 error. Bill?
All right, Fran. Bucky Dent singled in the Yankees' first run in the 2nd inning. Bucky, of course, with that big home run yesterday at Fenway Park. Slipped one on top of the roof off Mike Torres to bring the Yankees from 2-0 back to a 3-2 lead. Pitch to Dent. Called strike on the outside corner.
In the Yankee bullpen right now, 2 left-handers, Sparky Lyle and Paul Lindblad.
Now Mingori rocks and deals a 1-strike pitch to Dent. Curveball just misses outside. It's a ball and a strike. Bucky on the air, 243 batter, 5 home runs, and 40 runs batted in. Mingori working quickly. Fouled straight back and upon the screen, a ball and 2 strikes on Dent. Dick Hauser, the Yankee third base coach. He'll be the skipper of the Florida State, whatever they are. Seminoles? What are they down there? Seminoles next year. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Bounce slowly towards short. Charged by Brett. He cuts across, throws the first just in time. George Brett, the third baseman, cut across in front of Freddie Patek and made the play. 1 away. Wait till Hauser gets down there and finds out he's got to help the grounds crew drive the station wagon from place to place, give out meal money, make the schedule.
With a limited budget.
Oh, he's got a nice little budget down there. We talked to him. Yep, he's got a nice budget. It's a good baseball school.
Yes, it is.
But the alumni might get on him, though, if he doesn't win 45, 46 ball games, because the last guy won 46. Here's Rivers. They might chase him back to the major leagues. Rivers takes down low ball 1.
Scooter's always talking about going to a college.
Scooter?
Scooter loves it.
Fouled off. 1-1. Did you say Scooter wanted to go coach at a college or just go to a college? No, what'd you say?
He said coach.
Oh, okay. 1 ball, 1 strike on Mickey Rivers. The 1-1 delivery. Called strike 2. Good sidearm fastball down around the knees on the outside corner. Mickey's 1 for 4 in the ball game. He's flied to left, popped to short, singled to right, and the shortstop, Freddie Patek, made a good play on him in the 6th. Line, base hit over White's head. Rivers around first base. He'll hold there, though, as Al Cowens gets the ball in the second base. Watching Mickey run the first base, looked like he might have been limping a little bit. But he's on at first base with 1 away, and the batter's Thurm Mutson, the Yankee catcher.
Phil, I mentioned earlier that the Royals will defense you in the alleys. They will give you the line because a ball hit right down that line's an extra base hit. They will try to cut off the extra base hit in the alleys.
Well, Cowens certainly does an excellent job of that. Here's Mutson. 1 for 4. Mingori sets, checks Rivers, and goes to first base. Mickey has a 1-step lead there. Obviously, he's not going anywhere. And he got back easily. Yankees lead 4-1, batting in the 8th inning. Now Mingori's ready. And the pitcher goes Rivers, fouled back on the hit and run. And Mickey will have to go back to first base. Mutson batted .297 on the year for the Yankees. Hit 6 home runs, drove in 71 runs. After having 2 straight years of batting at least 300 and driving in at least 100 runs. Mutson playing hurt most of the year. Now Mingori is ready. And the pitch. Swung on, bounced foul outside third base. 2 strikes on Mutson. No balls, 2 strikes on Thurm Mutson. Our engineer Brian Ferguson brought up a good point too. Fran, he mentioned that with Rivers out some of the time, Mutson didn't have the opportunity to drive in runs as he had the past couple of years.
Right. Of course, Mickey, right now, he's leaving the ballgame. He's had a problem with a hamstring pull, slight hamstring pull, on the table in Boston, the trainer's table in Boston yesterday, having it worked on before the game. Right now, Paul Blair goes out to run for Mickey Rivers. Of course, when Mickey gets on base, things begin to happen. He usually gets to second base, and Thurman drives him in. Thurman, a good clutch hitter. Of course, you hit behind a guy that could steal a base.
Lou Brock.
Lou Brock.
Just take 2 pitches. He's at third base. Hit a ground ball someplace. The pitch. Outside. A ball and 2 strikes.
It was that easy, eh?
Yep. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Thurman. He wants that baseball inspected by home plate umpire Lou DeMuro. DeMuro looks at it. He'll throw it out. Gives Bengori a new baseball.
In the Royal bullpen right now, the Mad Hungarian throwing from the left side, and Doug Bird, who's been considered mad at times, throwing from the right side.
2 madmen, huh?
2 madmen.
All right, the count 1-2 on Munson. Blair off first, and the pitch. Swung on, foul back. Thurman with a good cut at a high fastball. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. On deck for the Yankees, Lou Piniella. We mentioned the 6 umpires tonight. Lou DeMuro behind the plate, Rich Garcia at first, Ron Luciano at second, and Bill Kunkel at third. The 1-2 goes to first base, and Blair gets back easily. Dave Phillips is umpiring down the left field foul line, and Terry Cooney is umpiring down the right field foul line. Now Mingori bends for it, straightens, checks Blair. The 1-2, swung on, lifted in the air to shallow left. Coming on is Steve Braun. He's there now and makes the catch. 2 outs as Blair goes back to first base. That'll bring on the right fielder for the Yankees, Lou Piniella. Boy, they're still buzzing about those 2 catches Piniella made yesterday in Boston, especially while he didn't make the catch, the ball he lost, the line drive to right field, but cutting that ball off with great reflexes and making that great throw to third base.
And of course, he held the runner at second base, and the next hitter hit a fly ball, in which the runner was allowed to get to third. If the runner's on third base, he's allowed to score. So very, very important play on Lou Piniella's part.
Piniella in this ball game is 1 for 4. Mingori goes to first base, and Blair gets back. Yankees lead 4-1 in batting in the 8th inning. 2 outs, Blair on at first base. Very quiet crowd here in Kansas City. Now Mingori is ready. And the pitch to Piniella. Outside, ball 1. Yankees 4 runs on 13 base hits. The Royals 1 run on 2. Now Mingori backs off, goes to the rosin bag. Doug Bird has sat down in the bullpen. Hrabosky, Al Hrabosky, the left-hander, still throwing. The pitch. Drilled to left field, base hit. Braun will play it on the first stop, and Blair will hold at second base. Now Mingori got a breaking ball up to Lou Piniella, and he ripped it to left field for base hit, sending Blair to second. That brings out Whitey Herzog, the manager of the Kansas City Royals, and he wants his left-hander, Al Hrabosky.
And Bill, you mentioned how quiet this crowd is here in Kansas City. Can you ever forget last year how quiet and stunned the crowd in Kansas City was when the Yankees came back to win the playoff game, the 5th playoff game here in Kansas City? But one thing, it did not affect the Kansas City fans' enthusiasm. They came out this year, 2,255,493, the attendance here in Kansas City. And now there'll be a break in the action as Mingori leaves the field with the score: the Yankees 4, the Royals 1.
This is Mel Allen. The Emery Flight Pack takes packages up to 5 pounds. It's probably the only small package service in existence that's big enough to carry Reggie Jackson's contract. Emery, the Air Force in air freight.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for Kansas City.
Okay, the Mad Hungarian, the left-hander Al Hrabosky now on in relief for the Kansas City Royals. Very popular pitcher out here. Will meditate between pitches, especially with runners on first and second. Okay, Whitey Herzog walks off the mound. He goes back to the dugout. The Yankees with runners on first and second with 2 men down. The top of the 8th inning. The score once again, the Yankees 4, the Royals 1. The Yankees with 14 hits, the Royals with 2. Stepping in for the Yankees now will be Reggie Jackson as the Mad Hungarian takes his warm-up tosses. We'll take a look at the final standings in both leagues. In the American League, the New York Yankees, winners of the Eastern Division, they won that by 1 game, and it took a dramatic playoff game in Boston to do that. The Yankees with 100 victories, the Boston Red Sox with 99. The Milwaukee Brewers 6.5 games behind the Yankees. Baltimore Orioles 9 games out. 4 teams in the American League won 90-plus games. The Brewers, the Orioles, the Red Sox, and the Yankees. The Detroit Tigers with a young ball club, the club of the future, 13.5 games back. The Cleveland Indians 29 games out. Toronto Blue Jays 40 games out of first place, and they, of course, were in the cellar. In the Western Division of the American League, a week ago today, the Kansas City Royals clinched their division. The California Angels finished 5 games back. The Texas Rangers, with many problems in Texas, tied the California Angels. They were 5 games back. The Minnesota Twins, 19 games out. The Chicago White Sox, 20.5 games behind the Kansas City Royals. The Oakland A's, 23 games back. The Seattle Mariners, 35 games out of first place and in the cellar. Eastern Division of the National League, the Phillies, division winners. Pittsburgh 1.5 back. Chicago 11 games out. Montreal 14 out. St. Louis 21 out. And the Mets in the cellar, 24 games out of first place. Reggie Jackson steps in to score. The Yankees 4, the Royals 1, and there's 2 outs. And the Yankees with runners on first and second. Bill?
Well, Hrabosky just went through his act out behind the mound. Now he gets up on top, looks in at Reggie Jackson. Hrabosky made 58 relief appearances during the season for the Kansas City Royals, won 8 ball games and lost 7. He sets and deals to Jackson, swung on a miss. Now picked up 20 saves for the Kansas City Royals in those 58 appearances. Only pitched 75 innings, gave up 52 base hits, 6 home runs, struck out 60 in 75 innings. Yankees lead 4-1. Blair off second base, Pinello off first. 2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. Here's a 1-strike pitch. Swung on deep to right field. Going back, that ball is gone. And the Yankees now lead 7-1. Hrabosky coming in with a fastball, and Jackson hitting it over the wall at the 385-foot mark, and the Yankees now lead by a score of 7-1.
Hrabosky with a good fastball, and Reggie, good bat speed. Got the head of the bat out there, drove the ball deep over the right field wall. And of course, the Yankee players on the top step of their dugout, very excited as they greet Reggie Jackson after a 3-run home run. And the score now, the Yankees 7, the Royals 1.
Well, it's a little tough to slip a fastball by Reggie Jackson out over the plate. You might, hey, these people are going home.
I want to beat the traffic.
Look at them.
Yeah, they've had it.
Well, I don't know. But they could stay
the
around.
fans have had it.
Here's Nettles. Gregg pops one to left field. Steve Braun moving toward the line. He's there and puts it away for out number 3. Yankees score 3 runs on Reggie Jackson's home run here in the top of the 8th, and at the end of 7.5. The Yankees 7, the Royals 1.
People use our money to get the most out of life, like a trip too far away, something that you need today.
It all began 100 years ago. A small company started lending money to consumers. From that first loan, a company called Household Finance was born. And from the beginning, our customers have been treated with a concern for their needs and a belief that at HFC, we really do help people get the most out of life. Can we help you? HFC, an equal opportunity lender.
People use our money to get the most out of life. Come on into HFC.
There's an HFC office near you where you'll find people ready to help you get the most out of life. That's what HFC's been doing since 1878.
It's not one thing, it's another. Now it's a transmission. I hate you. Hate. Deep hatred.
Before you completely give up on your car, come to AMCO Transmissions. Last year, we reunited more owners with their cars than any other transmission specialist. And we got 1 out of 3 of them going again with only minor repairs. At AMCO, we'll put you and your car back together again.
I take back everything I said about it.
Okay, 41,143, the announced attendance here at Royal Stadium tonight. First game of the American League Championship Series. The Yankees out in front. They've scored 7 runs on 15 hits. The Royals 1 run on 2 hits. Amos Otis steps in to face Kenny Clay. Otis is the Royals' career leader in hits, runs, and RBIs. Bill?
And Clay's first pitch is a curveball. It's in there for a strike. Otis has struck out. He has walked, stolen a base, and walked again, so he's 0 for 1. He's been walked twice, both times by Jim Beattie, the Yankee starter. Clay's next pitch is a fastball that misses outside, 1-1. You know, there's a great rivalry between the Yankees and the Boston Red Sox, of course, culminated by yesterday's great ball game. The 1-1 pitch, fastball sliced foul off the right side. But, you know, the one thing you got to say about those Red Sox fans, they stayed there. And even when the Yankees won those 4 straight earlier in the year, they stayed there. They cheered their team on. These people are leaving.
Yes, that's right. Of course, they're so used to that short porch being damaged over there in Boston.
Called strike 3 on Amos Otis as Ken Clay got the outside corner with a good fastball. There's 1 away.
Bill, many people feel Kenny Clay has been inconsistent, and he probably has this year. But, of course, this young man's another good pitcher. The Yankees out of their farm system, Ron Guidry, Jim Beattie, who started this ball game, Kenny Clay, and, of course, the more he's used, the more effective he will be. I'm sure if he was used once every 4 days or once every 5 days, he would be more effective.
Here's Darrell Porter, the catcher, 0 for 3. Takes a curve outside, ball 1. We mentioned Paul Blair going into center field to replace Mickey Rivers.
Paul Blair now in center field.
A 1-0 pitch. Fastball is in there. Called strike. It's 1-1. 1 out and nobody on. Bottom half the 8th inning. The Yankees lead 7-1. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Bounced foul outside first base. A ball and 2 strikes on Porter. So he went into the Red Sox clubhouse after yesterday's ball game, and of course played down in Puerto Rico with the Red Sox manager Don Zimmer, and you feel a little pang of sadness because these two teams, the Yankees and Red Sox, each have the best records in baseball this year. Change-up is high, but somebody had to lose.
Right. I mentioned earlier the Yankees with 100 wins on the year, the Red Sox with 99 wins.
Here's a 2-2 pitch to Porter. Low, ball 3, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Of course, I got to believe right now in pro sports it's the greatest rivalry in pro sports.
It's a good one. Here's a payoff pitch to Porter. Ball 4, low and inside. Darrell Porter walks. And though the Royals have gotten just 2 base hits against, actually they got both of them against Jim Beattie, that is the 7th walk that has been issued to Kansas City Royal batters. The second given up by Ken Clay. Beattie walked 5 before leaving. Back in the 6th inning. Here's Pete Lecoq. He's walked twice. Loops one into center field. Blair coming on. Good jump and makes the catch. And skipping back to first base is Darrell Porter. 2 outs.
Bill, what a luxury that is when you can replace a guy of Mickey Rivers' ability with a Paul Blair. A great center fielder, still a great center fielder.
Blair got a good jump on that ball, made it catch chest high. Here is Hal McRae. He's walked, fly to right field, and driven in a run with the sacrifice fly. Right-handed batter takes a strike on the outside corner. Yankees lead 7-1 here in the 8th inning. Chambliss playing behind Porter at first base. Clay's next pitch. Hit in the air, right center. Blair's after it. He's there and makes the catch for out number 3. Once again, a good jump by Paul Blair, and the side is retired. No runs, no hits, a walk, and a man left on base. At the end of 8, the Yankees lead the Royals 7-1.
When do you think Budweiser? Whenever the moment is right for a great beer. When do you think Budweiser? Whenever the good times are moving to right here. After the work is done, while you're still having fun, the king of beers is waiting for your call. When you say Budweiser, you said it all.
Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis.
There are 2 things I remember about 58. I spent more on oil for my hair than on oil for my car. And I bought my first Chevy. It's also the year I started using Champions. Now in 66, I remember 2 more things. A silver Corvette and a redhead named Georgette.
No matter where you are, it's Champion.
This year I got myself a Chevy wagon and 4 more things to remember. Billy Jr., Billy Joe, Billy Jean, and Billy Bob. I've had a lot of different kinds of Chevys over the years, but one kind of spark plug, Champion.
You can't buy a better plug for any kind of car than Champion. Champion. You can't buy a better plug no matter where you are than Champion. Champion's #1 in the world. #1 in your car.
Did I forget someone? Did I forget Billy Jack?
Okay, Doug Bird on in relief of the Mad Hungarian. Bird on the year with 6 wins, 6 losses, 5.29 ERA, and 1 save on the year. Bird used as a starter and as a reliever. I mentioned before, Bill Bird considered mad at one time. In a game in Oakland, Bill North was hitting. Doug Bird threw a strike. The bat flew out towards the mound. Really nothing provoked it. All of a sudden, Bill North goes out for the bat. First thing I see is he reaches up and slaps Doug Bird, and they're in a fight. Doug Bird said something to him.
Chris Chambliss bounces one to second base. Frank White throws a Patek throw to first. Not in time. I wonder why White would do that now. He could have made the play himself with Chambliss running. For some reason, he got to that ball instead of setting and making a hard throw to first base. He flipped the ball to Patek cutting across, and Patek's throw was not in time.
Of course, he learned that trick there from Cookie Rojas, but like you said, he had the opportunity to throw the ball. In fact, Freddie Patek took for granted that Frank White was going to throw that ball, and he had to turn his back and spin around and throw.
You know, the Royals have made a lot of little small mistakes in this ball game. One of the reasons they're losing by a score 7-1. And as Bird started up, White backed out, and time was called. So give Chambliss a base hit, the Yankees' 16th base hit. White's 1 for 3. Fastball misses outside, ball 1. On deck is Brian Doyle. I think I've been a little bit too harsh on these Royal fans for leaving early. Fastball is hit foul back. You know, when they were in the old ballpark, Fran, they used to leave around the 7th inning because that's when the buses left. They had to get back to the many small towns that they would come from to watch Royal baseball in that old park. So maybe it's just habit.
Right.
The 1-1 pitch bounced slowly toward first base. Lecoq has it, and his only play is to first base. He makes it there as White goes out and Chambliss goes to second. 1 out.
Of course, in those years, they were used to the game being out of reach about the 7th inning because they really did not have good ball clubs in that ballpark.
Brian Doyle has lined to third. An infield hit. Drove in his first run of the year with a single to right field in the 5th inning and fouled out in the 7th. And takes down low, ball 1. Doyle 2 for 4 with a run batted in. Willie Randolph, of course, out of the American League Championship Series. With that pulled hamstring, bounced right back to Bird. Chambliss trying for third. Throw there, and the ball comes out. As Chambliss went in hard at third base. Now Doyle will go on to second base as Brett could not find the ball. And Brett's down. And you hope the youngster is not hurt. Chambliss with a hard slide into third base as the ball was thrown from Doug Bird to George Brett down low. Brett had the ball in the webbing. Chambliss fighting hard, knocked the ball out. So Chambliss is safe, and on the throw, Doyle goes to second base. It'll be a fielder's choice, and they'll probably give an error to the third baseman, George Brett, and that's the way they scored. A fielder's choice for Brian Doyle. And the error is given to George Brett. Second error of the ball game for the Kansas City Royals. Now they'll have to bring their infield in for Bucky Dent. Runners at second and third, one away. Now time is called. Bird wants to talk to his catcher, Darrell Porter. Dent drove in the Yankees' first run with a single in the second inning, fouled out, forced a runner, and bounced out. He's 1 for 4. Brett, Potek, White, and Lecoq all around the infield, in close. The outfield plays Dent straight away, not too deep. And the pitch. Check swing, down low, ball 1. The Royals, the bottom of this inning, the 9th inning, will have the bottom third of their batting order up against Ken Clay, Al Collins, Freddie Potek, and Frank White. The pitch. Swung on, one hopper to Brett. He holds Chambliss, throws on the first base. Runner off the bag, but Lecoq gets back just in time. The throw pulled Lecoq off the bag toward the right field side, but he spun around and got back just in time to nip Bucky Dent, the base runner. So there are 2 outs. Runners still at second and third, and the Royals now will take their infield back. And the batter's Paul Blair. Blair batting for the first time in the ball game. He got into the ball game back in the 8th inning, running for Mickey Rivers and scored. And he takes outside, ball 1. Now Bird looks in at Porter for sign. The right-hander sets. And the pitch. Swung on, pulled foul outside third base. Let's take 5 seconds for station identification on the New York Yankee Baseball Network.
57 degrees and cloudy at 11:27 WINS 1010 New York.
The count, 1 ball, 1 strike on Paul Blair. And the pitch. Fouled straight back. It'll be out of play. 1 and 2. Yankees 7 runs, 16 base hits. The Royals 1 run, 2 base hits, and they made a couple of actual errors, and I believe a couple that they were not credited with. Some plays they should have made, they did not make. 1-2 pitch to Blair. Check swing foul. Frank White, normally a sure-handed second baseman. In the first inning, Fran Healy had a double play ball hit to him, bobble it. They did get Munson at second base, but normally that's a double play for the Royals.
Without a doubt.
Then White bobbling the bouncer off the bat of Doyle back in the 4th. Doyle getting a base hit. Fouled back again by Blair. Still a ball and 2 strikes.
You know, yesterday following the game in the locker room, Paul Blair told me that was the most exciting game he's ever participated in. And of course, Blair has been in some big ball games with the Baltimore Orioles.
I think that's one of the most exciting games people have seen in a long time.
Right.
Called strike 3 on Blair. Caught looking at a fastball on the outside corner. No runs. 1 hit, 1 error. 2 men left on base. At the end of 8 1/2. The Yankees 7, the Royals 1.
Get a piece of the action. Get Yoo-hoo chocolate action drink.
If you're getting bored with ordinary soft drinks, put a little Yoo-hoo in your life. Best tasting soft drink ever. Creamy, smooth, super chocolate flavor. Yoo-hoo's unbelievably delicious.
Get a piece of the action. Get Yoo-hoo chocolate action drink.
And Yoo-hoo is today's best soft drink value. Ordinary soft drinks are made with water. Yoo-hoo adds nourishing low-fat milk. Milk costs more than water. That's what makes Yoo-hoo better. And Yoo-hoo's non-carbonated. Instead of filling you up, keeps your action up. Great with snacks, too.
Get a piece of the action. Get Yoo-hoo chocolate action drink.
Yoo-hoo is Yogi Berra's favorite action drink, the chocolate drink of champions. And Yoo-hoo is today's best soft drink value. Get Yoo-hoo from Iroquois Brands.
Spruce up your home for less during the Rickle Fall Super Sale. Right now, you'll save 34% on each 13-ounce can of Rickle Color Bright Spray Enamel Paint. Pay just 99 cents per can of this non-toxic rust-preventive spray enamel that's perfect for wood, metal, and marine use. It's available in white and many beautiful colors during the Rickle Fall Super Sale. So stop into a Rickle Home Center, pick up your sales circular, and save.
Leading off for Kansas City, the right fielder, Al Cowens.
Okay, Al Cowens, the right fielder for the Kansas City Royals, will lead it off here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Royals' last chance. Fred Patek will follow Cowens, and then Frank White, the second baseman. Kenny Clay on the mound, on in relief of Jim Beattie. Bill?
All right, Fran Healy. Al Cowens has struck out, singled, and bounced to second base, and takes the strike. Well, Jim Beattie did his job through 5 1/3 innings. He kept the Yankees close, in fact, in front. Hit deep to left field, going back is White. He's there now and makes the catch. There's one away. When Beattie left, the Yankees had a 4-0 lead. McRae had a sacrifice fly off of Ken Clay, but that's been it for the Kansas City Royals. Clint Hurdle will bat for Freddie Patek here in the 9th inning. Hurdle, a left-handed batter. Boy, at the beginning of the season, he was on a lot of covers of a lot of sports magazines. The pitch to him. Called. Nope, it's down low, ball 1.
Bill, the Royals said he's had problems defensively. That's why he's not in the lineup.
Well, they moved him around so often. It's
right.
A little tough. Fastball is fouled off the left side.
Of course, he was an outfielder when he came up, and they put him down at first base to replace Mayberry, who, of course, is a run producer. He had his problems defensively there. They moved him back to the outfield. Had some problems in the outfield.
Well, he batted .264 this year for the Royals. Not too bad for a rookie. And he takes high 2-1. I think they might have expected a little bit too much of Clint Hurdle this year. Big fella. Doesn't get around on a ball too often. Hits the ball sort of like Pete Lecoq the other way. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Hurdle.
Of course, they rushed him to the big leagues. He played about 2 or 3 years in the minor leagues.
Here's a 2-2 pitch to the left-handed batter. Outside, 3-2. Yankees lead 7-1. Royals batting in the bottom half of the 9th inning. 1 out, nobody on base. Hurdle hit 7 home runs this year, drove in 56 runs. This ball's looped down the left field line. It's going to slice foul. And after it is White and Nettles and Dent. Hits foul and bounces into the seats. Still 3-2.
Bill Hurdle broke in 1975. I can remember him working out here with the parent club in 1974. He hit .274 in Sarasota. The following year in Waterloo, he hit .235. They jumped him to AAA. In Omaha, he hit .328. He had 16 home runs and 66 RBIs. And, of course, this past spring, like you said, he was on a lot of covers.
Here's a 3-2 pitch to Hurdle. Too high, ball 4, and Hurdle walks. So Hurdle pinch hitting for Patek walks here in the 9th inning, and that'll bring on Tom Poquette will bat for Frank White.
Bill, talking about Hurdle, when he first came, last winter he had a great year in winter ball also with the bat. He joined the Royals. They fooled around with his swing. They wanted him to hit the ball the other way. And, of course, they fooled with success, something you should not do. The guys you fool with, guys that hit .240, .250, .260. Adjust their swings. 300 hitters, let them alone.
All right, Poquette stands in, and Clay's ready and deals. Fastball, it's right in there, called strike. Poquette batted .216 this year with the Kansas City Royals. 4 home runs, 30 runs batted in. A slap hitter. Yankees infield back looking for 2. The pitch on the inside corner, called strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. Now Poquette backs up and looks back at Lou DeMuro, the home plate umpire. And he'll get back in. Now Clay sets. And the 2-strike pitch. Hit deep to right field. Going back is Piniella. He's calling now near the warning track and makes the catch. Hurdle halfway to second base, comes back to first. 2 outs. And the Yankees and Ken Clay 1 out away from winning this first game of the American League Championship Series here in 1978. The batter is Steve Braun, the left fielder. He's 0 for 3. Pitch to Braun. Swung on, bounced slowly to second. Doyle charges, flips it over the Chambliss. The ball game is over. The Yankees coming in here using what many consider their 4th best pitcher, and Jim Beattie. Beattie went the first 5 1/3 innings, gave up just 1 base, 1 run on 2 base hits. Ken Clay, another youngster, coming on, putting out the fire, and winning the ball game. The Yankees won it by a score of 7-1. Pretty good ball game to win, Fran Healy.
Yes, it was, Bill. And of course, tomorrow night, the Yankees will send their 20-game winner, Ed Figueroa, against Larry Gura. Gura 16-4 on the year, and a pretty good trade for the Kansas City Royals.
So the Yankees 7 runs, 16 hits, no errors. The Kansas City Royals 1 run on 2 base hits. They made 2 errors, and I think, Fran, the Yankees have got to be happy coming in here winning the first game in Kansas City. And as I mentioned earlier, you watched them, the Royals, take infield. You watched them take batting practice. I watched them take batting practice, and they were certainly a tight ball club, and I think it showed during the ball game.
Right, a very good point. And again, I mentioned earlier the psychological aspect, and I think it plays a major role in a game like this. The Yankees winning the last 2 playoff series with the Kansas City Royals in dramatic finishes coming from behind. Right here tonight, they sent, like you said, statistically their 4th best starter against the Royals. If they get the victory here tonight, they wanted to get 1 victory in Kansas City and take the Royals back to New York. They got the 1 victory tonight. They have the opportunity to beat the left-hander Larry Gura tomorrow, and they've had success in the past against Gura, so percentage on the side of the New York Yankees. Here tonight, they opened up the ball game. They scored 1 run in the 2nd inning, a run in the 3rd inning, 2 runs in the 5th, and of course Reggie Jackson hit a 3-run home run in the 8th inning to break the game wide open. The Yankees with 7 runs, the Royals with 1, and a big victory for the Bronx Bombers here at Royal Stadium tonight.
Well, that's it. Final score once again, the Yankees 7 and the Kansas City Royals 1. The engineer for Yankee Broadcast is Brian Ferguson. The assistant producer, Carol Lee Ashwell. The executive producer, Arthur Adler. Tonight's game was produced by Brian Ferguson. This is Bill White for Frank Messer, the Scooter, Phil Rizzuto, and Fran Healy saying so long from Royal Stadium. Our next broadcast will be tomorrow afternoon at 3:30 against the same Kansas City Royals. Stay tuned now for the New York Yankee wrap-up show.
When you're out of the ball, we're gonna scream, put it out of the ball. The other team's gonna know what it is.
Next time you have an appetite for fine continental food, go directly to Ondays at 160 East 48th Street in New York and Carte Blanche. Ondays Restaurant is one of many fine restaurants in New York where your Carte Blanche card will allow you to spoil, indulge, and treat yourself to the kind of food nobody can make at home. Dinner always tastes a little better when you have it with style with your Carte Blanche card, because people know Carte Blanche denotes more than an average measure of distinction and taste. With the Carte Blanche card, you can travel with style too. You can Carte Blanche your airline tickets, Carte Blanche your rented car, and Carte Blanche your hotel bill. Keep your card with you wherever you go and Carte Blanche your way through over 250,000 doors across the country, including Ondays. Carte Blanche it. You'll know you're going first class, so will everyone else.
Here come the Yankees. Let's get behind and cheer them. Yankees, they're gonna learn to feel them. Yankees, everyone knows they play to win. 'Cause they're from New York.
The New York Yankees playoff wrap-up show is brought to you by Getty Oil, Magnavox, and the Lincoln Savings Bank. Well, good evening once again, everybody, from Royal Stadium out here in Kansas City, Missouri. This is Frank Messer on the Yankees wrap-up show, and we saw quite a ball game here tonight. The Yankees winning by a score of 7-1, pounding out 16 base hits. Yankees playing without their regular second baseman, Willie Randolph. Brian Doyle filling in for him, doing a very, very fine job. Brian Doyle threw out Steve Braun on a ground ball to start the ball game. Brian Doyle threw out Steve Braun on a ground ball to end the ball game. In between, the Royals scored only 1 run on 2 hits. Yankee pitchers a little furtive on the mound as Jim Beattie walked 5 and Kenny Clay walked 3. But the pitchers came up with a big pitch when they had to. The defense for the Yankees was letter perfect, and I'll be back to talk about some of the details on this first game of the playoffs right after this.
Jackie Stewart, winner of more Formula One Grand Prix automobile races than any driver in history.
Formula One racing can be incredibly expensive. Even tires and fuel don't come cheaply. Of course, in racing, the price of fuel is not much of a consideration. But when you're driving down the highway in a car that doesn't deliver such terrific gas mileage, and you've got to use premium gasoline in that car, well, then the price of gasoline should be a consideration. Paying premium prices for premium gasoline is not something I'd care to do. Not when there's a premium that sells for less than most other major premiums. Getty Premium. Getty offers quality premium gasoline without the premium price. That means you can get the power your car demands and pay less for it. So remember, when you fill up next time, fill up with Getty Premium. The premium that gives you more miles for your money.
Well, I've got a strange thought on this ball game, and I might as well express it publicly. You feel that the Yankees, without Willie Randolph and without Ron Guidry, are playing a little bit short in this series. I say without Ron Guidry as the starting pitcher tonight. But sometimes when you're shorthanded, it works out to the best. And I'll put it this way. If the Yankees had had another infielder yesterday, Bucky Dent would not have come to bat in the 7th inning at Fenway Park. But the Yankees ran out of infielders. They couldn't pinch hit for Dent after pinch hitting for Doyle. And Dent hit a 3-run homer to put the Yankees ahead 3-2 in that ball game. If the Yankees had not had to play yesterday's ball game, Ron Guidry would have started tonight, and Jim Beattie would not have made the start. As it was, Beattie got the win. Had it not been for the playoff game yesterday, Beattie probably would not have pitched in the entire series, being the number 4 pitcher in the Yankee starting rotation of 4. So you never know. Everybody's saying, doggone, the Yankees pitching shy after the playoff, lost their second baseman. They got to go out there and play the Royals shorthanded. And what they do, they won the ball game 7-1. The Yankees came to play, and the Royals did not come to play this ball game. The Yankees, with the momentum from the game in Fenway Park yesterday, carrying over into this ball game tonight. The Royals, who wrapped up their divisional championship 1 week ago tonight, were flat in this game. They were uptight, and they did not play a good ball game. They did not get the good pitching. They did not make the plays on the field, and they were not swinging the bat well. I've got to feel that the Royals will turn things around, and they will be a much more aggressive ball club in tomorrow afternoon's ball game. In fact, as far as Kansas City fans are concerned, if they are not, they are a little bit in trouble. But the Yankees came out very aggressively in the game after Beattie after the Yankees failed to score in the first, even though they had an opportunity. There again, the Royals showing a bit of uptight ball play. With Munson on and 1 out in the first inning, Lou Piniella hit a perfect double play ball to Frank White, the second baseman. He bobbled it, did well to get a force play at second base on Munson. Reggie Jackson followed with a base hit. Line drive to center field. Amos Otis juggled the ball out there for an error. But Jackson takes second, and Piniella go to third. Greg Nettles hit a fly ball 408 feet. If he'd hit it 410 to center field, it would have been a home run, but he hit it 2 feet shy, and it was caught by Otis. Then the Yankee pitching took over. Beattie, not supposed to start tonight. When he did get the biggest start of his young career, he should have been nervous. He got the side out in order. Brian Doyle, a fine play on a grounder by Braun. He got Brett popped up. He struck out Otis, perhaps the most dangerous hitter on this ball club. Beattie then relaxed a little bit in the second inning, walked 2, but then he struck out Collins. Got Patek to pop a ball up on the infield, and Beattie said, hey, everybody out of my way, I'll make the catch, and he did for the 3rd out in that inning. The Yankees came back in the second, got a run for him after Chambliss struck out. Roy White did something you don't often see him do, and that is pull the ball right down the line. He pulled a double into the right field corner. A few moments later, he scored on Bucky Dent's single to center field. Yankees added another run in the third with 2 outs. Reggie Jackson doubled, his second hit of the game, and Greg Nuttles missed a 2-run homer by about a foot. Hit the top of the wall and right. The ball stayed in play for a triple. And the Yankees had all the runs they were to need. But they didn't let down. They kept right on taking it to the Royals, scoring a couple of more in the 5th and 3 more in the 8th. And I'll be back with stories on those innings and more on the ball game in 1 minute.
Here's some very bad news for people who rob mailboxes. And some great news for people who get Social Security, railroad retirement, or civil service annuity checks. Thousands of retired folks will never again worry about checks being laid or lost or stolen. They just filled out a simple form at the Lincoln Savings Bank, and now Uncle Sam automatically deposits their checks directly in their accounts at the Lincoln every month. No more waiting around for it to come. No more lost or stolen checks. No more standing in line to cash them. Every month, the day your check is due, the money is there in your free checking account at the Lincoln or in your savings account, earning interest for you from the day it was due until the day you withdraw it. Interest that can really add up. Uncle Sam and the Lincoln do it all automatically. You don't have to do anything except fill out one form at any Lincoln branch or telephone 782-6000 and the Lincoln will mail it to you. The Lincoln Savings Bank, 782-6000, member FDIC.
Well, the Yankees had a 2-0 lead for Jim Beattie, and he pitched a no-hit ball game through the first 4 innings. He gave up his first base hit on a check swing single to Al Collins, leading off the 5th, but Beattie left Collins stranded at first as he struck out Fred Patek, got Frank White on a pop-up, and Steve Braun had a line drive that was caught by Lou Piniella in right. The Royals finally did break through on Beattie for a run in the 6th inning. George Brett led off with a double. He hustled a single into a double, really, is what he did. Hit a line drive, what you would normally say a single to center field. Rivers just a fraction slow getting to the ball, and Brett hustled it into a double, and it paid off in the only run of the ball game for the Royals. There was a walk, fly ball, another walk to load the bases. That walk to Lecoq, which loaded the bases, walked Beattie out of the game. Brought Kenny Clay in. He gave up a fly ball to McRae on which the run scored, and then got Collins on a ground out. Clay struck out 1 man, walked 1 in the 7th. He walked 1 in the 8th. 2 balls were hard hit to center field. Rivers caught both of them. And in the 9th inning, he gave up a walk and got the final out on a grounder. The Yankees' scoring was not through after they led 2-0. The Yankees picked up 2 more in the 5th. Lou Piniella opened it with a single. He was the last man that Dennis Leonard pitched to. Steve Mingori came in, and after a passed ball moved Piniella up to second base, he walked Reggie Jackson. Greg Nuttles grounded into a force play. They did not try to get the double play as Reggie Jackson barreled in to the shortstop Patek at second base, a hard, clean slide. Chris Chambliss then got a run in with a base hit after striking out his first 2 trips. And another run scored on Brian Doyle's line drive single to right field. The youngster, again, a man who was not supposed to play in this series, had 2 base hits, a run batted in, and had some tough fielding plays, which he handled very, very well. Reggie Jackson was not to have the spotlight miss him. He came up in the 8th inning with runners at first and second, 2 outs, and hit a ball as hard as anybody can hit one. Not the farthest you'll see. It carried about 400 feet. But as hard as you can hit a ball, a line drive home run over the right center field wall, that capped the scoring, and the Yankees had a 7-1 win. I want to get a final comment from Fran Healy on tonight's ball game, and we'll do that right after this message. Are you tired of the same old look-alike, work-alike TVs? How would you like to get your hands on something really unique in color television? Well, just touch the buttons on the first computer color television, Magnavox Star System Touch Tune Color Television. Now you can touch tune by computer 21 of 82 UHF or VHF channels, and you can do it instantly, silently, directly. There's no clunking through the channels in between. Integrated circuits automatically tune to the precise frequency of the channel you select. Touch tune and lock in a beautiful color picture that's always sharp, always natural, always perfectly tuned as only a computer can assure. And the Videomatic electronic eye adjusts the picture automatically to changing room light. Touch tune and you can even see your channel number in large, easy-to-read numbers, and the time of day also appears on the screen. You can recall them whenever you want to see them again, all by just touching the incredible buttons on the first computer television ever, the Star System Touch Tune Color Television. Be sure to see it and touch it at your Magnavox dealer tomorrow. In just a moment, we're going to announce our Magnavox Star of the Year. As the votes are in, and we will have that announcement in just a moment. But first of all, Fran Healy is here with me. And Fran, you've seen many ball games played here at Royal Stadium in Kansas City, both as a Royal and as a Yankee player. And we'd like to get sort of a capsule comment from you on tonight's ball game. You were out of the room for just a moment. I said this. It looked like the Yankees came to play and the Royals didn't. Now, what do you think?
Very good point right there, Frank. And I've mentioned all night throughout the broadcast how the psychological advantage would be in favor of the New York Yankees. Of course, the Yankees came back in 76 and 77 to beat the Royals in some dramatic finishes. One game here was last year, the last game, and the game that Chris Shambles hit the big home run in New York. So, coming on the field, the Royals beating the Yankees in the season series should have had the upper hand, but they went out and they played very tight baseball. The Yankees, on the other hand, very relaxed. Of course, the Yankees played in a very dramatic game in Boston, so that might have helped their ball club. The Yankees all year a great pressure club. I mentioned earlier there have been better ball clubs, but I'm sure no club played under pressure the way this New York Yankee ball club plays. Of course, they come in here into Kansas City. They hope for one victory. They got the one victory. They have the opportunity to go home with two victories if they can beat the left-hander, Larry Gura, tomorrow afternoon.
All right, Fran, I think this game is so important. The first game, a pivotal game in a short series. And as you mentioned, I think any club in a 3-out-of-5 series having to play the first two games here in Kansas City would be more than happy to come in here and take one of those two. Now, the Yankees have taken the first one, and we'll see them tomorrow afternoon at 3:30 in the second game. Now it is time to announce our Magnavox Star of the Year. No individual awards for tonight's ball game because the ballots have been counted, the points have been tallied up, and our Magnavox Star of the Year to receive from the Magnavox Company, one of those very beautiful home entertainment centers we've been talking about, is Yankee third baseman Greg Nettles. Our heartiest congratulations to Greg Nettles, and he'll have a piece of furniture that will really brighten up his home, a Magnavox Home Entertainment Center for Greg Nettles for acquiring over the course of the season the most points in our individual Magnavox Star of the Game voting. Again, congratulations to Greg Nettles. Congratulations to the Yankees, who beat the Royals tonight 7-1. The Yankees pitch Ed Figueroa tomorrow afternoon against Larry Gura. We'll have the pregame show at 3:15. The ball game will start at 3:30. So until tomorrow afternoon, Frank Messer along with Brian Ferguson and Fran Healy here in Royal Stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. The final score, the Yankees 7, the Royals 1. Good night, everybody. New York Yankee Playoff Wrap-Up Show was brought to you by Getty Oil, Magnavox, and the Lincoln Savings Bank.
The News Watch never stops. This is WINS. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world.
It's 57 degrees at 11:53. Good evening, I'm Brad Sherman, and here's what's happening. Pressmen and paper handlers ratify new contracts with the Post. Last goodbyes today for ventriloquist Edgar Bergen, who passed away Saturday in his sleep. 2 men are being held without bail in Suffolk County Jail on charges of attempting to smuggle into the U.S. 7 tons of pot aboard a sailing vessel. UN Secretary General Waldheim offers UN help to attain a ceasefire in Lebanon. The Yanks win the first game against the Royals for the American League pennant, beating KC 7-1. Stocks closed lower in light trading. Cloudy and cool tonight. In a moment, New Yorkers may have a post edition Thursday. Wins News Time, 11:54.
We all hear sounds that we respond to. Think about it. One of the worst is turning the key to your car and hearing your engine sound like it spent the night at a bachelor's party. Of course, one of the best is turning that ignition and hearing your engine run as smooth and steady as a great bass player. Anyway, there's one sound that more and more people are hearing when it comes to any car.
Good morning, Kinney Chevrolet.
That's us. Kinney Chevrolet in Brooklyn. And whatever your car sounds like, we'll listen. In fact, whether you want a new car, an almost new car, a new pickup or van, a rent-a-car or a leased car, you can find it at Kinney. You'll also find a bunch of people who believe they're Brooklyn's friendliest auto dealership because Kinney cares. Kinney Chevrolet on Coney Island Avenue between Avenues R and S in Brooklyn. You won't find better deals or better people to deal with anywhere. And remember, Mr. Goodwren says keep that great GM feeling with genuine GM parts at Kinney.
Wins News Time, 11:55. Striking pressmen and paper handlers ratified new contracts with the New York Post today, opening the possibility for the daily to resume publication by Thursday. The Machinists Union has tentatively agreed to a new contract and is prepared to submit it to the membership for a vote. The lone striking union, the Newspaper Guild, is still negotiating with the Post tonight. Guild Executive Vice President Harry Fisdale says it's unlikely his membership could vote on an agreement if one was reached in time to publish tomorrow. Meanwhile, efforts to settle the continuing strikes at the Times and the Daily News are set to resume tomorrow. The Times and the News are continuing to press for reductions in their press room staff and a curb on feather bedding, which they say puts them at a disadvantage with suburban papers. Show business and political friends turned out today in Beverly Hills for the memorial service for the late Edgar Bergen. Bergen was the shy ventriloquist who used his famous dummy Charlie McCarthy to hurl all forms of humorous satire at audiences throughout the world. Bergen was 75 years old when he died in his sleep last Saturday in Vegas. His death was attributed to a heart attack. Checking the weather. Cloudy and cool tonight, the low 51 to 56. Tomorrow, continued cloudy and cool with a few showers, the high 60 to 65. Patchy fog will form tomorrow night, the low 51 to 56. For Thursday, intervals of clouds and sun, the high 63 to 68. In New York now, 57 degrees, going down to 51. Steve Banclater is at the editor's desk in portions written by Lisa Freeman and Mike Lopaparo. Wins News Time, 11:56.